ABC Sports proudly presents exclusive coverage of the National Championship game. It's the grand finale of the Bowl Championship Series.
The royalty of college football is in assembly at the Rose Bowl 2006. Bush, Leinart, Young, and their legion. By consensus, the teams ranked 1 and 2, with nary a whisper of dissent. The site for this ultimate showdown in college football is one of the famed arenas of sport, the Rose Bowl, where the festival of postseason play was started more than 100 years ago in the city of Pasadena, California. When the 2005 college football season started, all 117 Division I-A teams had high hopes this would be their year. Now 2 are standing unbeaten. One, the 2-time defending national champions and determined to stay there.
Touchdown, USC!
The other, wanting to bring it back after a 35-season absence. The Southern California Trojans found out about life in the catbird seat quickly, week after week taking the best shot from each opponent. And they beat back the challenges.
And SC is right back in a man liner to score, and the Trojans will win the ball game.
In the second week of the season, Texas walked into the horseshoe for the first time against the Ohio State Buckeyes. It was a raging battle, but the Longhorns pulled it out, and the rest of the season passed without a serious threat.
Say goodnight to this touchdown, Mitch. The route is underway.
And now there is just one game left. One game that will be as big as a college football game can be. The Southern California Trojans and the Texas Longhorns for the national championship tonight on ABC Sports. The weather is perfect, the field is fast at the Rose Bowl for tonight's ball game. This telecast available on ABC in high definition by DLP Picture Technology. Hello again, everybody. A Happy New Year to you. Keith Jackson, Dan Fouts. And so much hype has been heaped on this college football game, Dan, I'm beginning to have a hard time swallowing.
Well, you'd be surprised, though, down in the locker room, Keith, it's probably very calm and quiet. It's because both these teams expected to get to this game. This is the matchup they've waited for, the matchup we've all waited for over a year now, since Texas won in the Rose Bowl last year and since SC beat Oklahoma for the title. Both these teams are ready, willing, and able. This is going to be like a heavyweight fight. It's time to get it on.
Another pregame comment to be heard from John Saunders, Craig James, and Aaron Taylor.
We built for a tough pregame show. I've got a long way to go to catch Keith Jackson, but I've been lucky enough to be covering sports events for over 30 years, and I cannot remember a game I've anticipated more than this one. We've been building for 4 months for this, guys.
Well, like Dan Fouts said, this is like a heavyweight fight. You know what? Prior to the game, on the field, before they started stretching, and they were warming them up, the Texas defensive backs, wide receivers were on one corner of the field. The USC Trojans walked by and started talking smack to them. And I mean, it went back and forth, and the Texas coach said, hey, don't talk back to them. Wait till the lights come on. Then get out there and play football. So focus is going to be a very important asset that the Texas team must conquer.
Heck yeah, and they're going to need that, guys, because you can feel the electricity, you can feel the anticipation, you can feel the hype here. And a lot of times for teams, whether you're experienced or not, that can be a distraction. So I think the team that can bottle that up and use it to their advantage and settle down will be able to go out there and be successful tonight. You know, there hasn't been a National Football League team in Los Angeles for a long time. So without question, this is the biggest ticket in town. We found out in the land of celebrities, 2 of the biggest stars are also 2 of the biggest fans.
Football is king in Texas. We thrive on it. And after we won the Rose Bowl last year, the entire state knew we were getting back to where we expect to be, which is where we are right now. About to win our first national championship in 35 years.
Now just hold on a second there, cowboy. This may be your first rodeo in a while, but for USC fans, it's our 3rd national title game in 3 years. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that is percentage-wise. I don't have the numbers in front of me. But I bet you it's pretty good. What's that? 100%? Wow, that is good. Yeah, 100%. Didn't know that.
But you know, Will, for the first time all year, You're facing a team with a higher scoring average and a defense that's ranked 6th to your 39th.
What'd you say? I can't hear you. I have a Heisman in my ear.
It's a beautiful trophy, well-deserved. Congratulations. But I don't think you're going to have a chance to be pushing your quarterback over the goal line to win this one.
Dude, I still can't hear you, Matthew. Seems I have a Heisman in the other ear as well. Hey, yo, Reggie, Matt, this trophy smells like a waffle.
Yeah, well, at least our mascot represents our great state.
Southern California Trojans? Hello?
Yeah! Trojans!
What's up, man? All right, so now what?
Let's settle it on the field.
Yes, the field. The way extremely fit, unemployed students seeking a higher education often do. It's USC.
It's Texas.
The Rose Bowl, man! Winner gets a big batch of roses and a glass football. Who doesn't want that? Yeah! Come on! I'm gonna go streak Disneyland.
You don't think this is going to be fun? Well, we know who they like. Who do you like?
I'm going to have to go with the Texas Longhorns. I'm going with the Longhorns to win this game because of Vincent Young. He can hurt you with his legs. He can hurt you with his arm. Also, special teams. Texas has blocked 9 kicks in the last 6 games, and we've seen throughout the bowl season how important special teams are. Teams have won and lost based on how they perform with special teams.
Well, both these teams, guys, are so talented, well-coached, and have explosive offenses, but I think the experience, leadership, and the versatility of USC will be enough to edge out a very talented Texas team. Hank the Tank, baby!
By the way, for the first time ever, you're going to be able to download this national championship game to your video iPod and each of the BCS games, a 50-minute version. Go to iTunes tomorrow and take a look at the game. You're bound to enjoy it. Here's a look at the BCS standings presented by Allstate. You can count 1 through 5, but the only 2 that count are USC and Texas.
The Built Ford Tough pregame, brought to you by Ford F-150, Built Ford Tough.
We asked the fans of college football to vote for the all-time city Rose Bowl moment. Their decision, Ohio State, Arizona State, 1997. Sun Devil quarterback Jake Plummer, late in the fourth quarter, scrambled to the end zone to give the Sun Devils a 17-14 lead. But with less than 3 minutes to play, freshman quarterback Joe Germain drove the Buckeyes down the field, a 5-yard touchdown to David Boston, and Ohio State won a thriller, 20-17. The sunset over Los Angeles, the San Fernando Valley, and on back into the city of Pasadena. That's what it looks like. And now let's join the United States Air Force Academy Singers. Wings of Blue skydivers have delivered the game ball. They are part of an Air Force Academy parachute demonstration team. And they brought it down as light as a feather. FedEx Air Ground Stats show a well-balanced mix of air and ground by the Longhorns and the Trojans. Now let's join our reporters on the field, Todd Harris and Holly Rowe. Todd is on the Southern California side and Holly is on the Texas side. Here's Todd.
Well, Keith, with 2 national titles and 1 Heisman Trophy already on his mantle, Matt Leinart was expected to be the first pick in the 2005 NFL Draft until he said, no thanks. He turned down millions to extend his college experience, and tonight's game is the reason why. But 6 inches of rain fell at the Rose Bowl 2 days ago, and the integrity of the playing surface was in question. Well, 6 helicopter drying sessions and a little help from Mother Nature later has the grounds crew telling me this may be the best playing surface in the history of the Rose Bowl. And Matt Leinart is hoping to turn it into his own personal field of dreams. Now for more on Texas, let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, Todd, last year this was a field of dreams for Vince Young. He was dazzling as his team won the Rose Bowl, and he promised the crowd then they'd be back, and they are. Because of his vibe, Mac Brown says it's the Vince vibe. He keeps the team loose and excited. Even just before in warm-ups, he's out there dancing, singing, having fun. But don't make a mistake. He is one of the most fierce competitors, a 19-0 winning streak, and Mac Brown says he's the most competitive player he's ever coached. He might look loose, but he's ready to play.
The University of Texas Longhorns into the Rose Bowl. From the state capital city of Austin, the Longhorns since 1893 have won 799 football games. Only Michigan and Notre Dame have won more among Division I schools. They're 12-0. Head coach is Mac Brown. 8th season for him. The record 82-19. Now the Southern California Trojans, defending national champions. They're 12-0, a 34-game win streak, looking for their 12th overall national title. Pete Carroll finishing his 5th season as head coach. Record going into the game 54-9. There are 2 Heisman Trophy winners in the backfield. These 2 teams, 1-2, you bet. Now let's enjoy Leanne Rimes and our national anthem.
See by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
A B-1 from Dyess Air Force Base in Abilene, Texas, passing overhead with Lieutenant Colonel Quentin Miklos and Major John Koss at the controls. And I tell you, when they lit the candle, the crystal rattled. Woo. And let's talk some football now. Let's talk about the level of talent we're going to see on the field tonight.
Couldn't get any better than tonight. We've got the two most dynamic players in all of college football ready to put their special mark on this title game. In Reggie Bush and Vince Young, we have one more chance to see something uniting and very, very exciting. Both these players will bring you to the edge of your sofa. Both these players are going to try to bring a title to their football team.
Without a posse, how do you stop them?
Well, that's the biggest problem, Keith, because you can have the perfect plan. You can have the perfect scheme. Be in position to tackle them. They will make you miss. The key, gang tackling, the only way to stop these two great ones.
What about those two old black clouds that hang around college football? Turnovers and the kicking game.
Well, Texas clearly has the edge in the kicking game, but in the turnover game, nobody is better than USC in getting the ball and giving to their great offense.
This football game has everything in it in the preamble. Can they live up to it, you think?
Well, you know, Keith, I see so many similarities between these two teams. I don't see how this game cannot be a great one. There are just too many great leaders on this field. There are just too many great players, and there are too many great coaches.
Are the defensive guys getting a little tired of all this hype about the offense? Maybe they'll take over.
I doubt it. This is an offensive game, Keith. 50 points a game for both of them, over 500 yards in offense.
All right, now we're going to join referee David Whitvo, Big Ten officials, for the toss of the coin before this BCS title game.
Gentlemen, allow me to introduce honored guests joining us for the coin toss. It's my pleasure to introduce the Tournament of Roses president, Libby Evans-Wright, and her husband, Dr. William. The Tournament of Roses Grand Marshal, Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, and her husband, John O'Connor. Gentlemen, the Rose Bowl message that belongs to us. Understand? Justice O'Connor, please do it. Wonderful. Texas has won the toss.
We'll defer to the second half.
Texas will defer to the second half. You receive. Which goal will you defend?
We'll kick it that way.
Face that direction. Texas will receive at the north end.
Holly Rowe.
I'm here with Coach Matt Brown. Coach, what is the biggest barrier Texas must overcome tonight to beat USC?
Holly, I think the biggest thing is just keep playing. They've got such a great team. They've got such good players. They're going to make their plays, but we've got to keep playing whether up by 21 or down by 21.
What do you expect tonight? The defense has been overlooked, but what do you expect from your defensive players?
I think they're going to play their hearts out.
All right, let's go to the other sideline with Todd Harris, who's with Pete Carroll.
All right, thanks, Holly. Pete, what is the thought you want your players to leave the locker room with just moments ago?
We want to make sure that we come out here and play the game we're capable of playing. That means to play like we do things like we do. Play with, had a lot of fun doing it.
With so much time off, are your players ready to defend the crown?
These guys are ready to go. They're so ready. They've been ready for a long time. So with this kind of atmosphere, I don't know how you can expect for more. This is just an extraordinary opportunity. We're going to go for it.
Thanks, Pete. We'll talk to you at halftime.
And the famous old arena is packed. I mean packed. Just getting here today was an ultimate challenge. The sky is clear, the beauty of the sunset, the color of the game, the orange of Texas, and the varying colors that have come to the stadium, the Trojans on one end and Texas on the other end and the other side. And I want to tell you, there are a lot of Texans in this stadium tonight. Dan Fouts, we're looking at a game of speed versus speed.
Well, that definitely is going to be the key for both of these defenses tonight, Keith, because of the extraordinary talent on offense. But don't be surprised if you don't see the Trojans come out with a three-man defensive line, one linebacker. They want to put 7 fast defensive backs on the field.
Texas will be in the white, and the Trojans are the home team. Reggie Bush coming out. He will be in the return position because Texas won the toss and the Longhorns chose to kick off. Greg Johnson will do the kicking and Reggie Bush will do the returning if they kick the ball to him. But my only expression at this point is, we're going to play football. Yippee! I thought we'd never get here.
Interesting that Texas won the toss and elected to defer to the second half. Interesting in the fact that they have that much confidence in their defense to hold down this man, Reggie Bush, and this SC offense.
Now it's put up time. They kick it to him. 2 yards, 3 yards deep in the end zone. He's coming. He gets to the 10, he gets to the 12, and down he goes, brought down by Robert Killebrew. And there are a lot of frontliners playing on both of these special teams, and the special team edge considered goes to Texas. Matt Leinart is the senior, 37-1 as a quarterback, and that should be enough to put him into the yearbook. He also has a Heisman Trophy from last season. He has 98 career touchdowns. He has all the plaques and trophies that he needs. What he wants tonight is his career best game. Wayne Jarrett, Steve Smith, and Chris McFoy are on the field. That's McFoy going in motion. And the first play of the ball game is Bush trying to bounce to the outside, and Texas was all over him. The backs and receivers for USC. Reggie Bush, as far as I'm concerned, just say wow. Dwayne Jarrett, 81 receptions with 15 touchdowns. Steve Smith is also a big timer in big games. Offensive line, I think this is a major strength of the team. Latouille, the only senior, tackle to tackle, they are a load. Lendale White checks into the ball game now, the big back. It is second down. Second down and 12. Leinart taking his time with it, drops straight back, throws quickly, gets the ball away to David Kirkman, the fullback, out of the backfield, and Kirkman will pick it up to about 7 yards on the play. Terrell Brown. Texas defense along the front. Roderick Wright's an All-American. His tackle pal, Frank Ocam, they're both 315. Linebackers Aaron Harris had a spectacular game last year against Michigan on this field. And the defensive secondary, this will be almost without question the best secondary that Matt Leinart and his teammates have looked at this season. It is third down and 7 now. Patrick Turner checks into the ball game. He's number 1. Leinart stays under center. Bush moves over. Leinart straight back, pressure coming, gets the pass away, threw it as Smith was turning, and Smith turned a little short, and the ball sailed over his head. Ocam was on to the Trojan quarterback in a hurry.
Keith, you talked about the speed. We saw it on special teams, and then 3 plays and out, and now the punting team comes out. USC, as you can see, 3rd worst in the entire country in net punt average, and this man, Aaron Ross, has already taken back 2 this season.
Tom Malone, however, is over a hip injury, and Malone can just kill it sometimes. Sometimes he outkicks the coverage. Texas will get good field position out of this one. The reception was made at about the 43. Fumble! Texas man let go. Trojans have it. The Trojans get the football. I mean, somebody leveled Ross, and then the ball squirted out. And USC covered it at the Texas 46-yard line.
Combination hit by Colin Ashton, 59, and then the big hit comes in by Scott Ware as he hits Ross right in the face. The ball has got no choice but to come loose, and then the Trojans dive down, and the first turnover of the game goes SC's way.
It goes to Mayaba, who covered the loose football, and now Southern California at the Texas 46. Well, there's the first break of the ball game. Turnovers. You can't predict them, and you can't prevent them, and sometimes you can't deal with them. But let's see what happens here. Leinert's got a double wide, top of the picture, steps up, throws short, goes to Smith. Smith's inside the 40, down to about 37. And the tackle made by Cedric Griffin.
Well, the game plan for SC tonight is first downs are first. They got to move the chains, control the tempo of this ball game, and then defensively, Pete Carroll will create some chaos with speed. We talked about that three-man line with those 7 linebackers, but how about the speed on special teams? Kaluku Maeva, who was named Special Teams Player of the Year, is a true freshman for Pete Carroll.
2-back set, Bush deep. Smith this side, Jarrett at the top of the picture. And Bush gets it, bounces outside with it, runs over one Texan and gets it on down for a first down. He ran into Cedric Griffin, and Mr. Griffin meet Mr. Bush.
Well, everybody wants to compare Reggie Bush to so many different players. He's basically a combination of a lot of guys. This is Barry Sanders jumping to the outside right here, but as he finishes it off, this looks like Walter Payton to me. As he lowers his shoulder, drives Griffin back and picks up SC's first down on offense.
Just inside the 30-yard line.
And Vince Young can only stare and wait for his defense to get him the ball.
As long as he's on the sidelines, you can't beat him. Ball marked just inside the 30. Dominic Byrd and Fred Davis. It's a double tight end set with 2 wideouts up there. And Bush is your deep man. Kirkman comes back to help him. Leinert drops the throw, throws it down the sidelines. Kirkman! And he makes the catch at the Texas 6-yard line. The fullback making a tough catch and taking a wicked blow.
Great pass by Matt Leinert and an incredible catch by number 37. But this is his 20th catch so far this year, so he's no ordinary fullback. Not when you got hands and concentration and toughness like that.
That was a helmet-to-helmet hit. Griffin came over and laid his helmet right on his chin.
Yeah, this could have been called for that helmet-to-helmet contact right there. Was right under the chin. That's why the helmet popped off. But you got to wonder about Kirkman now. Remember, he's a fullback, does a lot of lead blocking for both Lendale White and Reggie Bush.
Looked like a foul, but there was no call. Ball is on the 6-yard line. It's first down and goal for the Southern California Trojans.
Boy, how big was that turnover? SC was going nowhere in their first 3 plays of the game, and that doesn't include the horrible kickoff return. They get the turnover, and right now they're knocking on the doorstep.
Kirkman's out of the ball game. Lendale White, the big guy, comes in at tailback. He's back by himself. Dominic Byrd is in an H-back position to help with the blocking. Leinert keeps it, pressure coming, runs away from it. Got to throw it. Nope, he's going to go out of bounds. And he is shoved out of bounds, and that gets a penalty flag. Killebrew was a little over-eager as the play went to the outside, and the flag is thrown.
Yeah, Killebrew must be colorblind because the burnt orange is about 12 feet wide, and look how far out onto the burnt orange Matt Leinert is when Killebrew hits him.
That'll be half the distance.
I was surprised Leinert just didn't throw that ball out of the back of the end zone to avoid that hit, but he did pick up extra yards with that penalty.
Well, the old adrenaline valves are wide open right now. Hard to control it.
Hardest thing for Vince Young right now is to control it as he sits on the bench.
Lendale White and Brandon Hancock will be in the backfield as the Trojans come back to the ball. It is resting on the 4-yard line, hash mark. They're going to run it with White, and Lendale walks in. Fred Matua and Brandon Hancock laid powerful blocks to open the door for Lendale White. And boy, has he rolled up some touchdowns this season.
21 on the ground coming in, that's 22. But when you look at his career, that is 55. He's just a junior. and that's a career mark here at USC.
Yes, 24 this year. Here is Mario Danello now for the extra point. It's good. Southern California recovers a Texas fumble at the Longhorn 46 after the Texas defense had stopped the Trojans. And USC accepted the turnover and stuck it in the end zone to take a 7-0 lead at 12 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the first quarter. Lindale White, who just scored his 24th touchdown of the season to put USC in the lead 7-0. Now let's see what happens with Texas. Can they respond as Troy Van Blarkum will kick it off? The Longhorns will have Romance Taylor and Juan Cosby standing back near the goal line. Van Blarkum is a freshman from Orange, California, and he puts a lot of leg on it. Takes it about 5 yards deep into the end zone and no return. Out to the 20 it comes. The quarterback for the Longhorns is a big fella. Vince Young, 6'5", 230 plus. A lot of swagger, but he's good. His individual numbers shown here for this year tell you a lot. He's frightening at his size when he gets loose and starts running around. He's 29-2 as a starter, and as an old defensive coach once said, he ain't got no handles, but he led the country in passing efficiency this year. One of the prime reasons the Horns average better than 50 points a game this season. So here we go again. Let's see, the first offensive play of the ball game for Texas. Selvin Young starting at tailback, makes the carry, and the backs and receivers. The tailback is positioned by committee. Selvin Young's a junior, and he gets the start because of the experience, but there are a lot of people that can play that position. The offensive line center, Lyle Sinline, anchors a very good one. The tackle, Scott and Blaylock. They'll have the best show in town when the Trojan defensive ends come calling. Big, athletic, and they've got an attitude. It'll be 2nd down and 5 as Young picked up about 5 yards, and Vince Young throws, and it is completed across the 40 to the 42 to the tight end, David Thomas. Thomas at 6'3", 245, a senior and a very good receiver.
Play action pass for Vince Young and the Longhorns as Young completes his first throw. Cushing a little late on his blitz. That leaves Thomas wide open in the secondary. He is a valuable receiver, led the Longhorns this season. That's 41 on the year.
So it's 1st down at the 43. Linus Sweed, Billy Pittman, Quan Cosby are the 3 wideouts on the field. Vince Young whips a shot up the field. Pass is completed at about the 48-yard line. Billy Pittman making the catch. The USC defensive front, Ellis and Ramsey inside are good. The ends are exceptional. Rucker and Jackson could be a key to handling Vince Young. Linebackers, USC gets Keith Rivers back from injury. Could be a very handy addition. Freshman Brian Cushing starting with Lua in the middle. The secondary, this secondary figures to be the toughest bunch that Vince Young has looked at on this season. And it's turned inside with Selvin Young carrying the ball again. And he'll go down at about just over the midfield stripe.
Take a look at the game plan for Texas. Vince Young must play well for Texas to win tonight. And then defensively, be aware of Reggie at all times. They certainly were in that first series of plays. Bush has 2 carries for 7 yards and a poor kickoff return to start the game.
Just across midfield where it is 3rd down and 3 for the Texas Longhorns. And they're working out of the spread. Young with it, turns it back up into the middle and dives for the 1st down and did not get it. Trojans played it very well with Oscar Lua, the middle linebacker, and Lawrence Jackson, defensive end, making the stop.
The question here, though, for Mac Brown, with this field position, do you go for it? Something the Longhorns have been very good at this year. They've converted 11 out of 18 tries on 4th down, and they're going to go.
It's 4th down and a short 2. Ball is on the Southern California, near the 48-hash mark. Hands the ball to Young, and he didn't get it. Trojans pile him up and roll him back. Scott Ware was the first man to get him.
Scott Ware, a weak safety playing near the line of scrimmage on that 4th down play, and Selvin Young doesn't get anywhere near the 1st down. There's Ware, and there are his buddies. Trojan ball at midfield.
And timeout.
ABC Sports exclusive coverage of the Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. Brought to you by the Citi Simplicity Credit Card. Citi, live richly. The Taco Bell Big Bell Value Menu. To get full on value, think outside the bun. Singular, raising the bar. And Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA.
We've got 9:32 to go in the first quarter of play. Southern California holds Texas in the middle of the field. Take the ball at their own 49-yard line. They lead 7-0. You were suggesting, Dan, maybe speed it up a bit?
Well, SC might go with the no huddle here because Texas has been substituting on defense at the last moment. If you do that against SC, Leinart will take over at the line of scrimmage and kill you.
They got 4 wideouts. And they bring Jarrett back toward the ball. He's the leading receiver. They throw it sideways to him. He's going to throw it downfield. Throws it to Steve Smith. It's too long. Smith had separated, but Jarrett led him by about 2 yards too much. Well, it was over the head of Michael Huff. They had him in their pocket, but Smith couldn't track it down.
And he's just too inconsistent with that pass. We've seen it a couple of times this year, and most of the time he underthrows the receiver. He overthrew Reggie Bush in a game earlier this year, and that's a touchdown that gets away from Dwayne Jarrett to Steve Smith. Because Smith was open, and he was going to score.
David Kirkman has checked back into the ball game, the fullback who was knocked out of bounds and had to leave the game with having been shaken up. So we've got a brief timeout here. The NFL playoffs kick off with Wild Card Saturday on ABC. First, Washington battles Tampa Bay, and then in prime time, Jacksonville will take on Tom Brady and the Patriots. Coverage begins Saturday at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, here on ABC Sports, home of Super Bowl 40.
Yeah, you talked about Cottonmouth, Keith. I think the game clock operator had it.
We'll keep the time on the side of the field until the clock is fixed. The time on the clock will be 9:25.
They kept the clock running after that incomplete pass. A little nerves up in the box, maybe.
He's got a bad thumb.
Talk about the depth of SC. Kurtman gets hurt. Now he's back in the game, but he made the key catch of that last drive. Brandon Hancock made the key block.
It is 2nd down and 10 after they missed on the deep ball. And Leinart, looking over the personnel of Texas, is changing the play. Short drop to throw, gets it off. Oh, what an effort by Patrick Turner, but he couldn't reel it in front of Terrell Brown.
Turner goes 6'5" and laid out. Brown had good coverage, but this ball just sailed a little bit on Matt Leinart. He had problems with passes sailing against UCLA last time out. Turner, just a freshman, could not bring it in when the pressure from Brown came.
He had both hands on it.
He sure did, and I will not say he should have caught it because you say I always say that.
Well, you do. 3rd down and 10. Throw it short underneath. It's Bush, and they take him down. 3 yards short of the 1st down. Just when he tried to throw a hip, and a penalty flag is called.
Right at the end of the tackle, could be a face mask as Bush signals to the sideline. So another mistake by Texas as they were about to get the ball back.
During the run, incidental 5-yard face mask on the defense. 5 yards results in a 1st down.
So Trojans got another break.
Yeah, it looks like Michael Huff, number 7, with the left hand there, trying to reach out and bring down Bush, along with Aaron Harris. And an incidental, but 5 yards. 1st down, SC.
Ball resting at the Texas 39-yard line.
Huff is a good one. The Thorpe winner this year, a consensus All-American. 97 tackles on the season coming in.
Lindale White checks into the ball game now as the single back. The clock's out of whack. Time is being kept for the moment down on the field by the official. And this is White carrying. Big guy. Runs over one. Second one gets him. Down he goes. He ran over Terrell Brown, but Aaron Harris, a really good middle linebacker, brought him down.
And the most amazing stat, I think, about both Lindale White and Reggie Bush, not all the touchdowns and yards and big plays they make, they hang on to the ball. Great ball security. In fact, between the two of them, only one fumble was lost, and that was on a kickoff return against Fresno State by Reggie Bush.
Lindale gained 4. And it'll be 2nd down and 6 with the Bush coming back. Hancock is the fullback. Bush, little delay in the middle. Came flying through and the shoe came off as he tried to cut to the outside, but he's got another Trojan first down. Tim Crowder probably responsible for Reggie losing the shoe because he grabbed him by the hind leg and held on.
Now they're playing SC football, vintage SC football with this running attack. Classic I formation. Right in front of Reggie Bush is Brandon Hancock, number 40, the second team fullback, but he's been a starter. He takes care of Drew Kelson, and Bush has another first down.
Ball is on the 26-yard line, and Lindale White's back in. Leinert throws. Almost intercepted. My goodness, it was intended for Dwayne Jarrett. Ball is thrown a bit behind him, and Terrell Brown dropped an interception.
Would have been his 2nd of the year. Texas doesn't intercept a whole lot of passes, only 10 all season, and maybe it's because these guys in the secondary can't catch too good. That ball hit Brown in both hands. Jarrett might have got his left hand in between to knock that one loose.
2nd down and 10. Bush is back. Has a deep back. Steve Smith, a man in motion. That gives you 2 wideouts on that side. They go back to Bush. Bush cuts it inside and is taken down by Michael Griffin. And he's going to have the ball at about the 23-yard line. Aerial coverage of tonight's game being provided by Tostitos. Ball at the 23 now, and they're looking at 3rd down and 7.
Third downs are where SC thrives, lead the nation in converting third downs well over 50%. These are always the toughest ones, though. 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 10.
Jarrett way wide up at the top. So you've got the 2 top receivers, Smith and Jarrett, at the top of the picture. Come this way to Bush. Bush working in traffic, got away from the first man. He's down close to the 17-yard line before Killebrew can put him away. He had to go to the 16, and he's about a half a yard short.
Well, that's the speed of Texas in the secondary. We saw Michael Griffin make a play earlier, and this time as Bush gets the ball on the corner behind Sam Baker on a little swing screen. Griffin is there. There's Killebrew. And even Larry Dibbles from his defensive tackle spot gets out there.
Reggie Bush goes a little over 200 pounds. And the Trojans are going now on 4th down and a yard.
Hey, you got to have Bush in there for the push, don't you?
Yep. Yeah. He's out there now as a wideout. Leinert keeps it. Boy, that's close.
They should have kept him in the backfield. He didn't make it. He's about 6 inches short. He lost his footing at the very end when he tried to push for the 2nd time.
Aaron Harris was the man as much as anybody that stopped it. 6:04 to go in the first quarter of play. David Whitlock, the referee in the white hat there.
Now, if the yellow line is accurate, he is short. And there, that yellow line is awful accurate. You can see as he tries for the second effort, his feet go out from underneath him, and down he goes, well short.
A moment with Todd Harris.
That was a situation where Pete Carroll was going to try to draw them off sides. He came down the line at the last second and started barking timeout. He wanted a timeout. Matt Leinart either didn't hear him or was given the option to go for it, but Pete wanted a timeout there, hoping to draw them off sides. That was the plan. Matt had the opportunity, like at Notre Dame, and he went for it.
And he didn't get it. And now Texas may have made a break for themselves.
You're watching the Rose Bowl game presented by Citi on ABC Sports.
National championship game is here next year. Would you like to come back to Pasadena?
Yes, sir. We'll be back. Yes, sir.
Well, that was the celebration following their 1-point win over Michigan here in the Rose Bowl a year ago. Their first time here, and here's Reggie Bush getting new shoes, looks like. Jamal Charles has checked into the Texas backfield. Now here is a swift one. This one can really move it. He's a true freshman.
And that's probably the reason he didn't start the game. Selvin Young with more experience, but we will see a lot of Jamal Charles. He's a track star in high school, but he does not play like a track star. He is a football player.
Vince Young 2 for 2 for 23 yards so far, and has rushed one time and picked up 2 yards. Working out of a spread, hands the ball off to Charles, and Charles ducks a hard shot and then wrestles his way up to about the 20. So he picked up close to 4 yards on the carry.
One of the challenges for Texas in preparing for SC was who would simulate Reggie Bush. Well, Jamal Charles did, and so did Ramonce Taylor, both in the regular offense and in the punt return and kickoff return game.
Charles, Brian Cushing just missed leveling Charles about the time he got the ball. But he ducked him, saw him, and felt him and got away from him. And same kind of a play, except Young this time keeps it. Tackle, tackle, tackle. That's the first down. Out to the 35-yard line before Oscar Lua brings him down.
Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator for the Horns, told me that the read play is unfamiliar to SC when you have a player with the talents of a Vince Young. You can see him make people miss. The body lean, the vision, the feel. That's why Greg Davis feels that Texas has a great shot tonight, because of number 10 running the ball like that.
Oh, the clock's working again. We hope. On first down. Young back looking to throw. Pumps it. Now lets it go. And it is caught. Caught upfield by Billy Pittman. He got lost in the secondary and slid out and was wide open.
Brian Cushing had great coverage on Jamal Charles out of the backfield. In fact, that's where Young wanted to go with the ball first. But right into his vision, right over the top of Cushing and Charles, was number 5, Pittman. Here's Pittman coming out in the flat. Look at how close the two receivers are. First down for Texas. Heads up play by Young and Pittman.
Ball is on the Texas 48-yard line at 4:42 to go in the first quarter. Young looking around, throws to the sideline. The ball is caught. Caught by Limas Swede. And it's on the Trojan side of the field now at the 47.
And we talked about the pass pressure on Vince Young, how both Frosty Rucker and Lawrence Jackson were going to have to provide it. So far, you got to give the edge to Justin Blaylock, the big tack on the right side, and Jonathan Scott, the All-American on the left side. Young's got all day to throw, and he's 4 for 4.
Cosby is among the speedsters coming outside. All these Texas receivers, they're a track team. Ball is carried by Charles. Charles rolled backward. The ball is loose.
I think Pittman got it. Number 5 at the bottom of that pile.
You don't get any free trips through the middle of that defensive front by either team.
That'll make Mack worry about the young freshman here. He's trying to make a big play on the outside, refuses the hole, and then just drops the ball. Texas has fumbled 33 times this year, but they've only lost 9.
The ball comes back to their own 48-yard line. They're looking at 3rd down and 10 with Selvin Young back on the field. He didn't waste any time. He put the junior back in there at tailback. And Vince Young back to throw. Pressure coming. They miss him. Now he gets it away anyway, and the pass is completed. And I don't know if it was completed or not. I know that one knee was down over here, and it looked like the ball might have come out when his knee.
Yeah, and what a great job Young did to get the ball to Selvin Young. He's going to be tackled. Yes, Brandon Ting is number 38. His brother Ryan, number 39. That strength, there's the knee is down. And the frustration from Selvin Young brings up a 4th down.
And Bush goes back to accept the punt. The punter is Richmond McGee, and McGee doesn't like to punt that ball to people like Bush. Gets it up, gets a lot of air under it, and it's drifting down the sideline and goes out of bounds. So he does a good job with it. He kept it away from Reggie Bush, got it out of bounds at the 17-yard line. 2:21 to play in the first quarter, and we'll see Reggie on offense coming up. For the first time ever, you can download a 15-minute highlight package from tonight's national championship and all other BCS games using the Apple iTunes Store. Just go to iTunes.com tomorrow and relive all the drama from the Rose Bowl game presented by Citi on your computer or iPod. All right, they come up here to the 17-yard line, and Reggie Bush has gone to the outside as a wideout, leaving Lindale White as the single back. And Bush comes toward the ball. White gets it, runs in traffic. Boy, he found something over there, and he went blazing through for 9 yards before they brought him down.
Yeah, this offensive line of SC played together a lot, really in great rhythm and very much in sync. And Lindale's a very patient runner. Watch as he takes it deep in the I formation, and then it's Matua, and Khalil comes off on the double team to get to Harris, and it's a big 9-yard gain on 1st down. There they are, Sam Baker, Taitusi Latui, Ryan Khalil, Fred Matua, and Winston Justice.
Latui is the only senior. Some others may go, but if they don't, look out. Here comes Reggie Bush. Out of bounds at the 35-yard line. That's the 1st down. Michael Griffin ran him out, and the ball will be marked right on the 35 at 1.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
It's a pretty unique type of play. Watch Hancock come in here and then lead Bush to the outside. Hancock has been a starter at fullback. He's alternating tonight with Kurtman. Gets a solid block there, and Bush picks up the 1st down with ease.
Lindale White is the deep back. 3 wide out. Dominic Bird, the tight end, down low here. But the ball goes to Lindale White. And he picks up 5 yards on that carry. Here's Todd Harris.
Well, Keith, I think Trojan Nation took a collective sigh moments ago when Reggie Bush was getting both ankles wrapped up. He's an old schooler. He does not like tape on his shoes, but he's running a new model tonight called Super Bad. Unfortunately, Reggie is just super badder. He is running right out of his shoes, so the tape is on there just so he doesn't come out of them again. Keith.
So it wasn't an injury of any kind. That's good news for the Trojan faithful. 2nd down and 5. Texas showing a 4-man front, 3 linebackers. And the search going on here. Texas reacting very well to the search, and they'll take him down after a couple of yards on the play. Drew Kelson, the first man to get there, and that was well played by the Longhorns.
Another example of how Texas likes to use speed on defense. Gene Chizik, defensive coordinator and linebacker coach, well, he converted Drew Kelson from a safety to a linebacker. He's only 215 pounds, but he has the speed and the athletic ability to jump outside there and hold Bush down.
Aaron Ross is in the backfield now for Texas. Number 31, he's a good one. 3rd down and 4. Leinart gets it away. The pass is caught by Bird. The contact was made right about the 45-yard line, and if that mark holds up, it's going to be a first down. We've run out of time in the first quarter. It is 7-0. Southern California leading Texas, and they will have a first down, and we'll be back after this message and the word from our ABC station.
ABC Sports coverage of the Rose Bowl game presented by Citi continues.
The winner of the 2004 Heisman Memorial Trophy, Matt Leinart from the University of Southern California. Of the 2005 Heisman Memorial Trophy, Reggie Bush from USC.
The others whose statues sit in Heritage Hall, so many of them, 7 total, and the latest being Reggie Bush. There's Marcus Allen. Marcus, of course, was one of the great ones. Isn't that one of those fellows out of San Diego, North San Diego County? There's a lot of talent coming out of there. Lindale White now is the beat back for USC. The ball is on their 35-yard line. They lead 7-0. We start the second quarter of play. Leinart back, pumps, not going deep. It's caught? No. Well, it is. Well, he came over waving it as if he did not catch it.
It looked like there was contact on this one.
Yep. Wayne Jarrett,
8 on 8.
Jarrett was under it.
Yeah, it did not catch it. That ball hit the ground, but it's a heck of an effort. I thought Jarrett should have been called for pass interference. He shoved Cedric Griffin out of the way.
Ball been a foot longer, though, he'd had it. Or, you're right, he could have been flagged for it. But nothing like that happened. It is 2nd down and 10 after an incomplete forward pass. That's Dominic Bird, the tight end. He's a very fast guy, and sometimes he goes deep. They drop it off. Got a little screen action set up for Bush. Oh, look out. Ball fumble. Texas has got it.
He's trying to lateral the ball is what he was doing, Keith. He saw a teammate out to the side and flipped the ball out there, and Texas has got it. Second fumble on the year for Reggie Bush. Just trying to do too much. He had a fantastic run on this play, and he's got to be upset with himself for that bonehead play to try to get more out of it.
He was trying to get it back to Brad Walker, who was trailing. If he'd been able to at 6. But
yeah, Walker, number 18 there, never expected the ball.
So Texas gets a break and will take over the ball at their own 18-yard line here early in the second quarter of play. A 7-0 lead for USC. And the old turnover has shown up tonight already. And Vince Young back to throw. Has a lot of daylight in front of him, and he takes off. And Pitt goes out of bounds, out across the 30 to the 32, and that's a first down for the Longhorns.
Texas did not score in that first quarter, and that's the first time this entire season that they've been shut out in the first quarter. But how easily did Vince Young pick up that first down?
Yeah, you get the feeling now he may be looking to take the reins, huh?
Well, he should. He's the guy. He's 5 for 5 throwing, and on the ground he's got 3 carries for 30 yards. Not bad.
Gets his pass away. The ball is caught. Pretty good tackle over there by the Trojans. Justin Wyatt on David Thomas. Thomas is the load. He's the tight end. He weighs about 245. Wyatt took him on. Justin's 185.
If I'm Pete Carroll, I am very much concerned with the lack of pass rush. The one time they got in on Young was when they had to blitz both the Ting brothers. In normal situations, the defensive line of Jackson, Ellis, Ramsey, and Rucker aren't getting anywhere close to Vince Young.
We talked early on about the battle between the defensive ends of USC and the tackles of Texas, and so far the tackles of Texas won that battle.
And the guards and center doing pretty good too.
Not bad. Sunline's a great player. Ball is thrown over here to this side to David Thomas again. Thomas Goes down, almost lost the ball himself, but it's at the 42 where Keith Rivers made the tackle.
Yeah, great effort by Thomas to fight Rivers, fight Wyatt, and pick up the first down. Because he doesn't have the first down when he catches this ball. But look how quick he gets up the field. Lowers his shoulder on Wyatt and then dives out just enough to pick up the first down. Great play by David Thomas.
Romont Taylor checks into the backfield now at tailback. Standing alongside Vince Young, and the Trojan came flying through. And he's saying that the Texas lineman moved, and let's see what David Whitwell says. Offside, USC. The show that swept America off its feet is back. 10 new celebrities taking on the toughest challenge of their lives, including football legend Jerry Rice, broadcaster Kenny Mayne of ESPN, Oscar winner Tatum O'Neal, new steps, new stars, new seasons, and Dancing with the Stars 2-hour season premiere live tomorrow at 8/7 on ABC. Ball is on the 47-yard line. And after the offside call, it's 1st and 5. Young looking. They chase him out. And he throws back across the field. Pass is complete to Brian Carter. Carter will be inside the 30, down to the 27 before Pinkard can bring him down. Brian Cushing was the man pursuing Vince Young, but a big, strong guy, and he's so tall, he sees the entire field.
Well, one man can't bring him down. Number 10 is Cushing. He chases number 10, Young, but can't get to him. Big play again by Vince Young.
From the SC 27, Young drops back, takes off, up the middle. He's finally caught at the 15-yard line by Darnell Bing. Bing got him by locking his legs around the ankles.
Well, Frosty Rucker, the defensive end on the left side of the Texas offensive line, check him out right here. He's going to come up the field too far. It's a design draw play, great block by Romont Taylor, and then just check this out. If there was ever a hot quarterback, it's Vince Young. 8 for 8 throwing, and now 4 carries for 42 yards.
And the ball is at the 15-yard line, 1st down. Little shovel pass goes to Romont Taylor, and he's taken down short of the line of scrimmage by Lawan Ramsey, defensive tackle.
You know, that type of play, I think I'd save it for when the Trojans were getting better pass pressure. That time, Ramsey was just hanging around the line of scrimmage. He was there for that shovel pass.
It'll be 2nd down, 11. Pete Carroll is the defensive coordinator for USC. Ball's loose. Texas is going to get it back. Wow. Trojans ran right over the top of it. Oscar Lua came in and knocked it loose, or banged him enough, and he dropped the ball, and then the Trojans could not get to it.
It's a real tribute to the Texas offense. You know, this is 33 fumbles on the year, but they're so good at recognizing when they do fumble that they recover a lot of them. Check out Vince Young diving in there to save the Longhorn bacon.
See, Lua was the one who had the best chance at it, and he just squirted out from under it. So it's 3rd down and 24 now for the Longhorns. USC's leading 7-0.
And Young's got to be thinking about getting half of it back, putting his team in field goal range.
Looking around. Goes down the middle, and it is incomplete. There were 2 Longhorns and 4 Trojans on that play back there around the 8-yard line.
Might have been a mistake to try to get it all back. That's his first incompletion of the night, but SC brought pressure with a corner blitz by Justin Wyatt. That may have forced Young to get rid of that sooner than he wanted to.
He also had 7 DBs in there on that play then.
Yeah, that's that speed on the field, and it paid off for the Trojans.
Well, they're going to go for a field goal here. It'll be David Pino, a 46-yard try. That's, for him, pretty good size. But he's been steady, and he's worked on that leg, and he's got enough leg on this one, and it's good. That is career-long 46-yard field goal for David Pino, and the Longhorns are on the board. It rained on Monday. Oh, did it rain on Monday. Right on the Rose Parade, Queen Camille Clark, 18-year-old pretty lady from LaSalle High School here in Pasadena. The helicopters were out 6 times drying the field. But that's still too short of the record from the days of the super teams at Punahou in Hawaii.
But it is a Rose Bowl record.
It is a Rose Bowl record, yes.
Yeah, it can really rain at Punahou sometimes.
On that old clay track, you kidding me? Go right up to your ankles. In come the helicopter.
We had 2 of them out.
Yeah, 2. But the field is very good.
It's awesome. Walked on it before the game, dry, firm, 5/8 of an inch long each blade of grass. How about that?
Wouldn't work Notre Dame.
They go 5.58.
Ball is on the 35-yard line now. 7-3. Trojans have the lead, and the kickoff from Texas by Greg Johnson down to the 6-yard line. Darnell Bing has this one. And the big old safety comes on back out to about the 27-yard line.
Time for our Jeep rushing playbook. Following a fumbled punt, Lendell White is going to go into the end zone behind great down blocking here by Sam Baker, Fred Davis, and then Fred Matua and Brandon Hancock get out in front, and it's a walk-in for number 21. Rushing touchdown, number 22 on the year. And as you said, Keith, he's been in the end zone a whole lot.
Remember now, both these teams averaging over 50 points per game during the regular season. But it's 7-3 with 10 minutes to go in the first half here at the Rose Bowl. They win championships with defense. Ball thrown to Smith.
Well, that's a heck of a catch by Steve Smith with Michael Huff drilling him in the back. Ball thrown low by Leinart. A perfect strike on the outside corner, and Huff can't believe it. Check out the reaction by Huff. He's all over him. That's really close. I think his left arm was underneath the ball. That's really tough. They might have to take a look at this upstairs.
Yep, I think so. The replay official is Jim Augustine. Dick Honig is the backup for that operation upstairs. Dave Parry, the national coordinator of officials, is up here in the booth with us. And Jim Augustine is having a look.
As he comes back for the ball, watch his left arm.
He's got it cradled.
He's got it cradled, but a lot of that ball is touching the ground, I got to believe. But from the pictures we've shown you, and this is what they're looking at upstairs, I'm not sure they'll overturn this one.
Isn't there some kind of limit as to what Michael Huff can do when he gets him on the ground? He just rolled him over a time and a half.
Like steer wrestling.
Michael says, "Where's the ball? Give it up."
Steve Smith has a knack for making big plays in championship games. He had an incredible game last year against Oklahoma when he caught 3 touchdown passes. A couple of them were just spectacular.
After review, the play stands as ruled on the field. It was a completed catch.
.19 to go in the first half of play. Not a seed available. I mean, this has been a hot ticket. 42-yard line, and Reggie Bush is the beat back. Kirkman is back in there again as the fullback. Leinart throws out here to Dwayne Jarrett. And the lanky one will go up close to midfield before Aaron Ross can take him down.
First catch of the night for Dwayne Jarrett. You see at the end of that play, Aaron Ross doing his best Derek Johnson imitation. The great linebacker who played for the Longhorns last year. Tried to bolo punch that ball out from Jarrett.
Amazing how much he's matured in 2 years. He's just a sophomore. His freshman year, Mom had to come out here and calm him down. He was homesick, wanted to go home. But he stayed the course, and he's very happy. I talked to him the other day. Very poised. Young man now. Very comfortable. Bird and Davis are both in the ball game. Tight end. And Leonard gives to Bush. Bouncing to the outside. Cut back into traffic. Runs into trouble. He's taken down in a hurry, and it was Michael Huff laying the lick on him. Now it's time for the Aflac trivia question. Who are the 3 players to win Rose Bowl Player of the Game award? You know? You know?
I know that man has won one time, and I know the quarterback on the other side has won it one time. The last 2 Rose Bowls.
Kyle Williams is in at tackle, has been at tackle for USC, and there's your first down to the 40-yard line for the Trojans. So they're moving the ball again.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot more of Lendell White running the ball right at Texas behind this big offensive line of SC. They're having a lot more success with White pounding the middle of this Texas defense than they're having with Bush trying to get wide.
We got 3 tackles. They have 3 tackles out on the field. Let's see if they're still there. Just so. Bush now 7 carries, 31 yards. White 5 carries, 31 yards, and a touchdown. Leonard keeping it. Wanted to go deep. Nobody to throw it to. Now drops it off. And it is complete to Fred Davis. And Davis will get down to about the 32-yard line. Fred Davis was the one who imitated Vince Young as best he could in the practice sessions at quarterback, because they're about the same size, and Pete Carroll and the coaches wanted people to get the perspective of having a man that size working the ball against you on the offense, and Fred did a pretty good job.
And Michael Coleman also did a pretty good job, as they wanted to get a little more speed and flash than Fred could provide.
Look at this. Boy, he just turned on the jets, didn't he? Brandon Hancock banging away, and Lendell White right in his wake, and that's a first down.
Why not? Run behind Tusi Latui at 365 and Sam Baker at 305. Hancock with another solid block, but that's just a huge hole. And whenever your safety, Michael Huff, has to come up and make the tackle, your defense is in trouble right now. You can see Aaron Harris, number 2, late getting over there. And now we've got a Texas player may have problems with cramps.
It was actually a fairly warm day today. That's Aaron Harris, the middle linebacker. Boy, did he have a game here last year against Michigan, huh?
18 tackles in that game. Michigan was looking out for Derek Johnson, and number 2 made all the tackles.
So they have to repair a chin strap on his hat.
Yeah, it's one of those equipment malfunctions that Todd likes to talk about.
That's because he's got a concession down there. You know. On the 26-yard line, first down, Southern California on the Texas side of the field. They lead 7-0. They're threatening. Orange come up, puts 7 in the box, and Reggie Bush bounces outside, and he's ridden out at about the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard on the play. Cedric Griffin refusing to yield on the play. Friday, a groundbreaking new series comes to ABC. Every year, thousands of innocent Americans are wrongly convicted, and where do you turn when the justice system turns on you? Kyle MacLachlan, Jason O'Mara, Injustice series premiere this Friday. Put it on the 25. Reggie got a yard. Smith is back. We got Jarrett, Turner, Smith. Your catchers on the field right now for SC. Line it back. Lets it go. and it's in the corner, and it is intercepted or knocked away by Michael Griffin. He didn't pick it, I guess.
Well, he caught it. I don't think he got his feet in bounds, though, Keith. Hit the pylon. The pylon's knocked over. They're going to have to take another look at this, perhaps. They're having a conference down there. You can see the officials getting together.
Great play by Griffin.
Oh, boy. They're saying it's incomplete pass. Take a look at it. You can see Smith is open for a short time. There comes Griffin. That's an interception, folks.
He had one foot down.
That right foot down, and the whistle blows. They're going to have to take a look and give Texas the ball at the 20. Yeah, his foot's in the end zone, knocks the pylon over with his other foot. That's Texas football. Incredible catch by Griffin. Recognizing Smith was open down the sideline for a potential touchdown. He comes away with his third pick of the year.
Now, where do they get the ball?
Put it on the 20. Went out in the end zone.
Did he?
And watch that right foot. Right on the goal line.
Right on the goal line. Thought he was a little short of it, but he's not.
Ironically, that's where the ball was when they threw that pass.
A little longer at 6.
Great reaction. But that's, again, the speed of the secondary of Texas. The leading tackler for the Longhorns from the weak safety spot, Michael Griffin, with a huge play. Remember, both these teams average over 50 points a game, over 500 yards in total offense a game, and the defenses are in charge, in control tonight.
After review, there is indisputable video evidence that the pass was intercepted with a foot in the end zone. The touchback, first down, Texas.
And you've got 6 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the first half. And the Longhorns turn away the Trojans.
ABC Sports exclusive coverage of the Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. Brought to you by the Citi Simplicity Credit Card. Citi, live richly. Jeep, the all-new Jeep Commander. It's your world. Take command. Aflac, ask about it at work. Verizon Wireless. And Budweiser, bright, crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
Pretty, huh? And a Happy New Year to you all. We're in the 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the first half with SC leading Texas by a score of 7-3. Matt Leinart has just been picked off for the first time in his last 83 attempts. Great play by Griffin for the Horns. That was his third interception of the year, and it saved probably a touchdown. Horns will try to run it with Selvin Young working inside the tackles, and he gets something out of it. He's going to have about 7 yards. Here's Holly Rowe.
Guys, after that last field goal on the Texas sideline, the offense had their heads hanging. They were actually dejected of not being able to punch it into the end zone. Mac Brown, sensing a loss of their enthusiasm, came over and said, look, I want your heads up. This is no time for the weak. We're going to go out and start moving the ball.
On second down and 3, Young throws to the sidelines. Pass is caught up at the 42. Move your change. First down, Texas. Linus Swede, the catch.
I guarantee you one guy didn't have his head down. That's that guy right there. Going with a no huddle now to speed up the tempo. And this is exactly the type of play and the style of play that Vince Young thrives in. As if he's not already thriving tonight.
Keeps it. Sets to throw, gets it off in a hurry, just a little quick pop. And the ball is thrown up to the 45, and the reception by David Thomas, the tight end, rolls close to a first down. Earlier we asked the Aflac trivia question, who are the 3 players to win Rose Bowl Player of the Game award? The answer is Bobby Schlorett. University of Washington 60 and 61. Charles White, USC 79 and 80. And Ron Dane, Wisconsin 99 and 2000. Young pitches it outside on an option, and it works with Selvin Young. being knocked out of bounds after he crosses midfield and put the ball on the Southern California 46.
Second time they've run an option tonight. This one's successful because of the pitch. First time Young took it himself, Vince that is. This time he gives it to Selvin, and they get a first down. And again, no huddle, quick tempo. This keeps SC from substituting, getting all those defensive backs on the field.
This possession started back on the 20-yard line. Young's pass thrown to the outside, goes to the tight end, Thomas again. And Thomas goes out on a hard hit by Darnell Bing. That's two big men colliding.
The other thing about this no-huddle offense, SC is substituted. They have true freshman Ray Maaluga, middle linebacker, and Ryan Powdrell, a backup linebacker in the game. So you got inexperience at the linebacker spot, and Young is just picking them apart right now.
Thomas with 5 catches and 46 yards. 5:20 to go in the first half. Almost got him behind the line of scrimmage, but it is Jamal Charles, the speedster, who takes it inside the Trojan 25. Broke the tackle of Lawan Ramsey, and another Texas first down.
They're going to get right back on the line of scrimmage. They can substitute easily. Young comes in for Charles. But watch this run. Ramsey can't get him. Rucker can't get him, and he's in the secondary. First down, Texas.
Young's got it, going to run it. Lost the ball. Pitched it out. He pitched it out.
Touchdown, Texas.
Touchdown to Selvin Young. I don't know. It
looked like he might have been down, didn't it, Keith?
Yeah, it did to me. I thought he was. But I'm looking at it with binoculars. Darnell Bing almost had him down, but he dropped it off. I didn't know if it was a fumble or a pitch.
Well, Reggie Bush tried this earlier with disastrous results. Young knows he's got help to the outside. The ball, he's down.
He's down.
They're going to have to check this one out. Take these points off the board.
He was on the ground before he pitched the ball. Going to get away with it.
Kick it quickly. I can't believe they're not reviewing this one. This is huge.
Kick is good. No, kick is not good.
Nope, missed it wide right.
Wide right.
Kind of like last night. But this shouldn't have been a touchdown.
No, should not have been a touchdown. I don't believe it. But anyway, it is missed, and the Trojans are not damaged anymore. Basic question in the aftermath and the extra point and all of that and the touchdown was that in order to alert them to the potential of a replay on this pitch right here, you see the knee is clearly down, the ball's in his hand. USC should have called time, but they didn't, and Texas got a touchdown.
Yeah, but the officials upstairs saw the same thing we did, had plenty of time to stop play and take that touchdown away.
It's a 9-7 ball game. The Longhorns lead for the first time, and Greg Johnson will kick it off. Gets a lot of air under the ball. It goes to Bush, and Bush looking for a crack. Gets to the outside and stops the clock at about the 33-yard line. John, Craig, and Aaron will be along here in a few minutes. At 4 minutes and 51 to go in the first half, and let's spend a moment with John.
Well, Keith, we are going to have the great Marcus Allen join us during halftime, amongst other things.
Where's Earl Campbell when you need him?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll show you a play, too, that Vince Young is really putting fear in that USC defense.
And, guys, we're going to talk to some of America's best and bravest over in Iraq.
Yep. It's all coming up at halftime. Keith, back to you.
Thank you, sir. Ball on the 33-yard line. There's a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal substitution. SC had 12 men on the field in the huddle. Did not do that.
5 yards. Moves the ball back to the 28-yard line.
5 yards. The down remains, sir.
Stay tuned at the end of the half for the AT&T Music highlights featuring U2. Ball's on the 28 now. As We wobble around here a bit. Lindale White steps in at the deep back position. He ran into the wall that time. Ball's forward across the 30 to the 31, so give him 3 yards. He rides the surge of an offensive line as well as anybody.
He's got great patience, and for a big fella, those are about 225. Great feet. Very light on his feet, can change direction quickly without losing power.
Second down and 12. Remember, they had a 5-yard penalty for illegal substitution. 12 men ahead. Line it. Rolls out and throws, and it's outside. Incomplete. Intended for Dwayne Jarrett.
Well, you just check the body language of these two teams. You see the frustration by Leinart. You see Huff and Griffin for Texas jumping up and down after that incompletion. Momentum can change so quickly in a college football game, especially when you have turnovers. The interception by Leinart led to that 80-yard drive when Vince Young was nearly perfect and got help from the officials.
Third and 12. Longhorns trying to hold them and force the punt. 4 minutes to go. There's plenty of time to do some more damage. Run out of time. Yep. Burn the clock.
Two uncharacteristic mental mistakes by the Trojans on this drive.
Offense number 11, 5 yards. The down remains third.
Losing their poise in the face of this Texas onslaught right now.
John David Booty. He may have just been told to warm up. Line it down the middle, intended for Jarrett, and defended very well by Michael Griffin, and incomplete, and it's 4th down.
And because of the delay of game penalty, Jarrett wouldn't have had the first down with the completion, but the coverage in the secondary, all this speed. That's why both Lane Kiffin, SC's offense coordinator, Gene Chizik, the defensive coordinator for Texas, told me they didn't think this game would be very high scoring because of the speed. Great timing by Griffin.
And they'll punt now with Tom Malone, and Aaron Ross is waiting. Malone's got a low one, and it is fielded by Ross. And that low line drive gave him a little room, and he brings it back up the field about 18 yards. And here's Texas now with good field position at their own 49-yard line and leading 9-7. While we were away, Brendan Carroll, who is working at tight ends, was one himself. Pete Carroll's son, the head coach of the Trojans, over on the other sideline. Little dancing and jigging going on here. As old Vince Young, he's keeping his crowd loose. He is probably the most entertaining quarterback in the country when it comes to handling the tempo and the temper of the sideline. He works at it all the time. On first down now for the Horns, as Young looks around and lets it go deep. And it is incomplete. It was intended for number 5, Billy Peckman, who is a speed burner, but Josh Pinkard got in front of it, and he got it out of there.
And this ball was up in the air after that bounces off of Pinkard's shoulder. It's up in the air for an eternity. In fact, Limas Sweed almost came over and picked it up, number 4, but Pinkard gets in his way, or he would have picked it up. Holy cow, we getting some bounces or what?
Yeah, Pinkard could have intercepted it had he known where it was, too. They had that chance. Here's Vince Young, wants to run it, gets outside, and the first man didn't get it. The first man didn't get it. It was a good tackler, too, a fellow named Frosty Rucker. And he ran through his arm.
Incredible. Rucker, 6'3", 260, second leading tackler for the Trojans this year. He's got him right here. Watch him come in here. Just the fake. He's got both arms wrapped around him, but Young is so big, so strong, so determined.
Frosty knows it, too. He's growling about it.
Should be.
Ryan Carter is in for Texas now as they go to 3 wideouts. Working out of the spread. Young's pass thrown down the middle. It goes to the tight end, Thomas. And David Thomas will take it down to the 30-yard line, and it's first down Texas with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to play. So the Texas siege is rolling right along.
Another catch for David Thomas, wide open as SC brings the blitz, and they don't cover number 16 till it's too late.
Scott Ware was after Vince Young, but the ball was gone. And he hands it this time to Taylor, and Taylor's got the ball, got daylight, and touchdown, Texas! So the Longhorns have exploded in the last 10 minutes of the second quarter.
No doubt about that touchdown, as it's another broken tackle. SC not tackling worth a darn here in the first half. They had Taylor at the line of scrimmage just as they had Young at the line of scrimmage on the previous play.
Extra point now by David Pino. Right in the middle.
Yeah, they always tell the running back, you got to make somebody miss. And then you've got to get help down the field from your wide receivers. Check out Lima Swede, number 4 here on Scott Ware as he drills him, and Taylor walks in.
Remember, the Trojans have won 34 consecutive games. They are the defending national champions. They are trailing Texas 16-7 with 2:34 to go in the first half of the BCS championship game. Reggie Bush too far in the back of the end zone, will not return it. It'll be USC ball up at the 20.
Take a look at a couple of key plays here in the second quarter. This interception had to be reviewed in the box, given to Texas, but the box did not review this play when Vince Young's knee is down. And Selvin Young takes it into the end zone.
Being behind is not a new experience for USC.
But being behind to a team with the talent and speed of Texas, that's another thing.
That's a totally different thing. Leinert getting pressured, drops it off to Reggie Bush. Bush trying to run around the corner, can't do it, steps out of bounds. Save his body, and he's close to a first down. Lacking a couple of yards. Bobineau took him out.
Not a bad idea or play call by Lane Kiffin, offensive coordinator. When struggling, go to your horses. There's Lane. Great job filling in, taking the place of Norm Chow. A lot of question marks as how this offense would be affected. Well, one of the best in the country, thanks to Kiffin, but he's going to give the ball to Reggie. You can count on that, and try to get the ball to Dwayne Jarrett.
Well, they mark him out, leaving him 4 yards, so he stepped out. We can't see the sideline from where we are. There's so many folks here. Leinert lets it go, and it's a battle that is incomplete. Almost intercepted. Reggie Bush was on the go, and the ball was knocked out.
Well, normally you'll get Reggie on a linebacker and he'll beat him by a mile. But this linebacker, Drew Kelson, number 4, used to be a safety. He's running stride for stride with Reggie Bush. And then for good measure, Cedric Griffin comes over and takes Bush and puts him on his wallet.
Boy, it looked like he had possession almost, didn't he?
Really close. One more look here. He's down. That's an interception. Yes, sir, Keith. Ball cannot cause that ball. The ground cannot cause the ball to come loose like that.
I thought he had it, but then he did. He had possession when he hit the ground. But anyway, here's the first down picked up as Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush now is going to have to do something extraordinary, I think, to get his guys cranked up.
Let's go back and take a look at this. Another phantom call here. Kelson high with the ball, possession there.
I think he flipped it out. Looked like it.
Was he trying to lateral or something?
I don't know. I'm
a lot of sandlot going on tonight, isn't there?
Yeah. Leinart. Got nobody to throw it to. Now he's going to just take off and get what he can get, and gets it up about the 46, 47-yard line. There was nothing for him in the secondary. Steve Smith had two guys on him. And Reggie was across the way and well covered as well.
Got off to his usual good start in tonight's game, but since then, with one interception and just one completion for 6 yards. That was a heads-up play, though, not to force the ball down the field. A lot of time left, and all 3 timeouts for the Trojans.
2:02 to go in the half. And here's Aaron Harris, who's down again.
That looks like a cramp, Keith.
Yeah, rubbing the leg.
Yeah, they straighten those legs out and bend the toes up, try to straighten the muscle out.
Here's Holly.
Well, guys, this is the second Texas starter to have to come out of the game right now because of cramps. Robert Killebrew also out with cramps right now. They're immediately taking these guys to the sideline and getting Gatorade in them. For whatever reason, guys, cramping seems to be a big problem for Texas right now.
You know something about that fluid, don't you?
Yes, I do. Killebrew is back in, huh? It works. 16-7, Texas leading. With a 9-point explosion, and this extra point kept them from the 10-point lead. And Leinart gives to Bush. Bush is reaching across midfield, and he won't get. He's at least 2 yards short of his first down. Loki, the tackle, and here's Todd.
Well, Keith, as Holly reported, Texas down 2 starters, and Steve Sarkisian, the offensive co-offensive coordinator, has seized upon that. He is encouraging Matt Leinart to speed up his cadence, speed up the play. They're getting the play earlier, and Texas, the only way they're being able to confuse Matt Leinart tonight, and they're doing a good job, is they're showing their defense late. He wants Matt to pull the trigger earlier and try to catch Texas out of alignment.
Well, he's got plenty of time. Drills the ball down inside the 40-yard line to Dwayne Jarrett, and that's a first down. 1:18 as the clock stops on the completed pass and the movement of the chains.
And that was the best pass protection that Leinart's had all night. He could really step into that throw and zing it in there to Dwayne Jarrett.
Maybe have been the best pass he's thrown tonight.
Yeah, those kind of go hand in hand.
They do, don't they? All 3 times out remaining for SC. At 1:04 to play. If they can get something on the board going to the clubhouse at halftime, they'll feel better about themselves, I'm sure. Leinart's in trouble. Takes off, a lot of room. Now finally tracked down at about the 25. Aaron Ross and Terrell Brown track him down, and the ball is on the 25-yard line. Another first down for Southern California, trailing Texas by 9 with 49 seconds to play in the half. And timeout is called by Southern California.
Huge hit here by Aaron Ross. Brown has him from behind, and Ross comes in with a shoulder. Clean hit right there as SC calls timeout to give Leinart a chance to clear the cobwebs.
Is there a rallying cry for the thinkers and doers of tomorrow? A motto that sums up their passion for creativity and their pursuit of discovery? Sure there is. Hook 'em horns. We're Texas. What starts here changes the world.
Again, legs being stretched on the Texas side because of cramps. But Matt Leinart took a whack here.
Well, he's got Brown on his shoulder, so he can't get down as far as he wanted to. This is just a real solid, good hit by Ross. Did not lead with the helmet and got the same effects, though, as Leinart was shaken up a bit.
All right, they've got 2 times out remaining. They've got 49 seconds to play, and they've got 25 yards to travel if they want a touchdown. Find it again. Throws inside. Ball to Bush. And Reggie goes out of bounds at roughly the 13-yard line. And there's the Texas helmet back up the field. That's Orakpo's helmet.
Well, he came out to the party a little bit late and never could get his chin strap button. In fact, he was trying to button it while he was rushing the passer. And Leinart, that's a big hit. That's very reminiscent of the hit he took against Arizona State that drew a flag. Knocked him silly for a while.
Spread him out. Backfield's empty. 40 seconds to play in the first half. Bush is on this side. Leinart sacked. Back at the 21 by Ocam.
Not a bad time to pick up your first sack of the season. Frank Ocam, the sophomore, working against Ryan Khalil, number 67. Coverage sack for the secondary, but Ocam's got the quarterback.
Here's a heads up for all you middle schoolers out there.
The Big 12 Conference
has teamed up with the College Board to offer this cool new program called College Ed.
It's designed to encourage middle school students like us and our parents
to start prepping for college now.
But College Ed is just one of the ways
in which the Big 12 supports education in our local communities.
Because the Big 12 believes every student
deserves a chance to pursue his or her dreams.
Together, we're better. The Big 12 Conference.
You're watching the Rose Bowl game presented by City on ABC Sports.
It is 2nd down and 17 for USC. The ball is at the Texas 20-yard line. You've got 32 seconds to play, and the Trojans have 1 timeout remaining. Texas with a burst in the late going of the first half. Jumped out, scoring 16 unanswered points to take a 16-7 lead. One, two, three, four, five, 6 of them up there. Leinart steps away, falls down. Nobody to throw the ball to.
It's almost, you know, and on this drive, every time Leinart's gone back to pass, it's been a straight drop back. They haven't rolled him out. They haven't gone with a 3-step drop, which they normally do when they're getting pressure. But right now, this defensive line is getting in there. There's Ocam one more time. He's going to stay with them, pick up a sack as SC calls their last timeout.
Well, are they within reach of Danilo?
Well, I don't know, Keith, because Danilo's longest is only 36 yards this season. He's been good inside that. He's only missed 1 out of 11.
This would be about 43. Todd?
Well, Pete is really not happy. He did not want to burn that last timeout, hoping to get, at the very least, in better field goal position for Danilo. But now burning that one, they almost have to go for it or do something quickly enough so they can get him out there and try a field goal with only 8 seconds left. Keith.
Well, it'd have to be pretty quick.
Yeah, with this amount of yardage to pick up for the first down, this is so unusual to see SC in this position. See a lot of guys staring around at the clock, at each other, looking, searching for answers, and not finding many.
Texas has won 19 games. They're talking about win streaks. Of course, the Trojans are 34, but here comes Danilo into the ball game. He's going to give it a go. That'll be about 43.
Mack making sure he's got 11 out there.
Texas can block it. They've got some long, tall folks to get up in the air. And here you figure it's going to be low when he kicks it from this distance, but he got it off. And he made it. He knocks in a 43-yarder with 2 seconds to play in the first half. And it's a 16-10 ball game.
He had a real important field goal against Fresno State at the end of the first half. Not quite as important as that one, but that lead now just 6 points. That field goal was huge. You see Robinson trying to get up high. He's their designated field goal blocker. Blocked one this year, but not that one, as Danilo got it high and far.
Not only 3 points helps, it helps your dignity. Because they've been hammered the last 10 minutes.
And remember, Texas won the toss, deferred, so that means they'll get the ball to start the second half. But they have 3 timeouts. I don't think they can do much with just 2 seconds to go, but I'd never count out number 10.
I won't be surprised, but what Vince Young takes the football team on his back, though, when we come to the second half. I think he's been a little quieter. He's been terrific. The numbers are great, but he can do more.
And he's willing to do more, no question.
But here's the kickoff by Van Blockham. He knocks it along the ground, and it's accepted by the receiver back on his knees, and there can be no return.
But because he got it on his knees, it just took 1 second off the clock, and we're going to have one more play. Boy, knees have been the key, haven't they? Vince Young's knee down, not called, touchdown Texas. Now, at the end of the half, the knees will have one more knee, perhaps, from Young.
Well, that's
it's like Drew Kelson going off, yeah.
I really thought that Matt Leinart might have taken a wallop about midway in that second quarter that threw him off balance, and then he got another one late in the quarter, and it looks to me like they're just going to take a knee and go to the clubhouse, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So at halftime, it is Texas 16 and USC 10.
Time for our Nokia player comparison. Take a look at the 2 quarterbacks. You can see Vince Young, only 2 incompletions in that first half. Matt Leinart struggling of late.
Here's Todd.
Pete, what do you need to fix at halftime?
Well, we gave a couple opportunities away to him, and we just have to do a much better job of that. We don't normally do those kinds of things. I don't know why Reg flipped that ball back. We were in pretty good shape right there. That's the first thing. We got to slow him down. They had a little momentum going with the no-huddle thing. We got to slow that thing down.
Your quarterback, Matt Leinart, how is he?
He's okay. He got rocked a little bit, but he's all right.
We'll see you in the second half. Holly?
I'm here with Mac Brown. Coach, in that midway point through the first half, your team seemed to pick up some momentum. What happened to get that momentum?
Oh, Holly, it's a great ball game between 2 great football teams, and I think ours were trying a little too hard, and we really stunk the first part of it. We've settled down now, and what a ball game. Should be a great second half.
What stunk?
Well, we fumbled the ball twice, and then we laid it on the ground another time when we're going in to score, and we had an opportunity or 2 on defense we didn't make. But it's a great football team, and we've got to protect the ball better the second half.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Keith?
Stay tuned for the Pontiac Performance Halftime Show after this message and a word from our ABC stations. 16-10 lead. University of Texas Longhorns over the University of Southern California as we get ready for the second half of play. And let's talk about tweaking things with Dan Fouts.
Well, offensively, SC's got to get Bush and Jarrett Moore involved. And then on defense, pressure and then tackle Vince Young. Texas offensively, hang on to the ball, quit giving it back to the Trojans, and then defensively, stay the course. You're doing just fine. You're allowing SC just 10 points, holding out a pretty good offense.
Trojans have got to crank up the throttle a little, don't they?
Well, they've got to quit making mistakes, and as we talked about, Bush is such a difference maker. He's not on his game so far. That lateral in the first half was just a critical mistake, something that I'm sure that he would like to have back.
And we haven't seen the best of Vince Young either.
Well, not too bad, though. Vince Young is leading rusher in the game, but you always expect a little bit more out of him. The big question for SC is the health of Matt Leinart. Took a lot of big shots in that first half.
That missed extra point, they oftentimes echo, don't they?
Well, it came on a touchdown that should not have been a touchdown, too. Right. So that one, a 6-point lead here. at the half, and it's just that one extra point's the difference.
So the Rose Bowl holding up to the expectations, but in effect, it's the defense that's setting the tone of the game so far. Texas showed signs of grabbing it by the horns, literally, if you'll pardon the pun, in the last 10 minutes of that first half when they exploded for 16 unanswered points. Troy Van Bluckham will kick off now as the Horns won the toss so initially and elected to start with the ball in the second half. That's a good kick. It goes 2 yards deep into the end zone to Ramon Taylor. Taylor coming to the outside. The Trojans went for the middle of the field, and bingo, he broke it to the outside, and there's a penalty flag up on the 33-yard line. Josh Pickard made that tackle.
And that penalty flag was thrown against Texas on the other side of the field. Had nothing to do with that fine return by Ramon Taylor.
During the return, holding, number 21 on the returning team. 10 yards from the end of the run. First down.
That hurts him because it was on the 29. Dan?
Well, time for our city game summary. Pretty balanced for Texas, 121 yards rushing, 113 passing. SC's 2 turnovers led to 9 Texas points. But SC, those both happened deep in Texas territory. Liner's been down 3 times. Young, nada.
Still clean britches. Keeps it. Started a little option motion, throws a couple of defenders, and turned it upfield and got 3 yards. Darnell Bing finally brought him down.
He might have got more than 3, Keith, as he was contacted there, but just continues to overpower the Trojan tacklers.
Second down and 6. Keeps it. Got away from the pressure, throws to the sidelines. There was enough pressure, though, to make him move, and he threw the ball wide of his intended receiver, Lima Swede. It was defended by John Walker.
That really is the best pressure we've seen from the Trojans' front 4 all night. And that's directly responsible for that ball being incomplete because he did have to move and had a small margin for error on that sideline.
Just beginning the second half of play. Game hasn't exactly followed form, but it's beginning to turn that way as the principal performers are beginning to step up, and in particular Vince Young. On third down the sidelines, too long. Swede running down the sidelines with defense by John Walker.
That's a great start to the second half for the Trojan defense as they force Young 2 incompletions. In the first half, he only had 2 incompletions.
Well, we've seen Pete Carroll work some miracles in the second half of play all along the last 2 seasons. Let's see if he can do it against the powerhouse here in Texas. Reggie Bush is waiting for Richmond McGee's punt. Reggie's back about the 38-yard line. High kick. Reggie comes up, waves for catch, and a penalty flag thrown. And it might very well be against the Trojans.
Yeah, it's going to be against Darnell Bing. He blocked a Texas gunner in the back. So that great field position at midfield, still going to be pretty good, but not as good because of the block in the back by Bing.
Well, they've been off a month, both teams. You're never as sharp as you were when you ended the regular season. It's a long wait.
We talked about how Matt Leinart got bounced around quite a bit in that first half. We're going to see 2 of his 3 sacks. Frank Ocamp gets him there. And a couple of guys. Watch this shot, though. This is the one of major concern, though. Aaron Harris came in there and rattled his cage.
So the Trojans take over at the 38-yard line for their first possession of the second half. And they come out with Reggie Bush as the deep back. Leinart Turns to this side, throws the ball quickly. Jarrett receives it and picks up about 6 yards. Killebrew brought him down. There's Bob Leinert right there, Matt's dad. Proud of his boy. Well, he should be. Good guy. Good boy.
You bet.
13:34 to go. Second down, 4. Trojans the ball. Lindale White trying, gets 1 of the 4. Aaron Harris and Terrell Brown doubled up for the tackle for Texas. The temperature here in Pasadena here for the second half of play is going to be in the mid-50s to the low 50s. It'll go down. Gets pretty cold here in the Arroyo Seco. Colder down here than it is up on the hill. Third down and a long 2, more like 3. Dominique Bird's been quiet tonight. That was him in motion there. Leinert straight back, gets it away, gets his first down as he throws to Brandon Hadcock, the fullback, out of the backfield, and move your chains.
We saw David Kurtman make a big play, the starting fullback, on that touchdown drive for the Trojans. Now Brandon Hancock, the backup fullback. Just seems like when you have stars like Bird and Steve Smith and Dwayne Jarrett, Bush and White, that the defenses say, hey, you can throw it to the fullbacks all night long. We're not all that worried about him. Leinert found Hancock for a key first down.
Four-man front for Texas. Ball goes. Leinert dropping back, throws down the middle. Jarrett's got it. And Dwayne Jarrett will take it down to about the 22-yard line before Terrell Brown can ride him down.
And that'll get a high five from Daddy. Is Leinert enjoying the pass protection. And Jarrett running a sharp route. After the play fake, and it's a good one to Glendale White. Look at the pass protection. Again, when Leinert can step into the throw, as most quarterbacks, he's going to be very accurate. This is a perfect toss.
Jarrett caught 81 during the regular season coming into this game and had 15 touchdowns. That's a lot. Ball is at the 22 of Texas. Leinert up quickly, throws the ball. He comes this way again to Jarrett. Jarrett will work his way to the 17 before he's wrestled down by Brown and Huff. Well, Brown's playing well tonight. He's been around a lot of tackles.
And he's been able to fend off the blocking of the wide receivers. That time Steve Smith was out in front, and Brown just ignored him, came up and made the tackle.
Brown comes from Mesquite, Texas. Clock running right along. We've burned up almost 4 minutes of this third quarter. Now a 6-man front. Better hurry up. We're going to get the clock. We burned it. That's the second time in the ball game, or they call timeout. They got timeout on it.
Prior to the...
So effectively, that's almost a wasted timeout. But he wanted to change his play, and Texas went into a 7-man front, and they had to spend the timeout.
Look.
In the 2004 Rose Bowl, USC and Michigan, watch this. Matt Leinert catches a touchdown pass on this play as Mike Williams delivered it, left-handed also. And they went on to win the AP National Championship 28-14, beating the Wolverines. That game was a real coming-out party for Matt Leinert, too.
It was right at the same part of the field, too, where they executed that play perfectly.
Right now, they're looking at second down and 5. The ball is on the Texas 17-yard line. They're trailing by 6 points. Ball is handed off to Lindale White. He shakes off a couple of runners, goes for the corner of the end zone, and finally got him. Michael Griffin got down around his feet and got him down just inside the 5-yard line.
Now he just straight-armed Michael Huff to the turf. Watch the strength in the right hand of Lindale White. Watch 7 come up here. That's Huff right there. Down Huff goes. And White almost gets into the end zone. Griffin with a solid tackle.
Of course, the biggest guessing game in town is whether or not Lindale White will come out and go to the draft, or whether Reggie Bush will go to the draft. Maybe depend on what happens here tonight. The Trojans right now get it back to White, and he rams it into the end zone. Touchdown. So now USC with an opportunity, if they can convert, to take the lead again.
Great start defensively for the Trojans to start the second half. Even better start for their offense as White pays it off with two very strong and important runs for the Trojans.
Malone is the holder, the punter. Will Collins snaps it. Mario Danello kicks it through. It is 17 Southern California and 16 Texas at 10:36 to go in quarter number 3.
ABC Sports exclusive coverage of the Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. Brought to you by the Citi Simplicity Credit Card. Citi, live richly. FedEx, for the ultimate in reliable shipping. Relax, it's FedEx. Tostitos, nothing brings people together like Tostitos chips and salsa. Meet you at the Tostitos. And Ford F-150, built Ford tough.
Lindale White banging it into the end zone, his 25th touchdown of the year. White and Bush collectively 97 combined career touchdowns. That ties the NCAA record for teammates with Army's Glenn Davis and Doc Blanchard. And as far as I remember or know, this is the first time we've had two Heisman Trophy winners in the same backfield in the game since Davis and Blanchard.
And it's very similar, Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside, huh?
It is, yeah. Ball kicked almost beyond the field of play, way in the back of the end zone, and no return on it for Texas. They'll come out to the 20 and possess the ball using the spread formation. Jamal Charles is set back there with Vince Young. And out of bounds he goes. It was almost a body block by Oscar Lua that got him out of there. But he picked up the better part of 7 yards.
And he got in behind his All-American tackle, Jonathan Scott, pulling all the way from the left side and leading Young around the corner. Again, no huddle offense to keep the Trojans from substituting.
Second down and 3. This is Charles. Cuts it back in traffic. Finds a crease. And a fine run. Scott Ware finally brought him down. But the freshman out of Port Arthur moves the chains for the Longhorns. They're trying to respond here to USC's touchdown.
And they're going back to their basic Texas football, that zone read play. First time, Young kept it. That time, he gave it to Charles. Both plays, good results.
Little quick pop over here to Lima Swede. And he'll have, oh my goodness, about 6 yards on that play. Just bang, bang. That's the kind of stuff they used here last year against Michigan, too.
Standing back in the shotgun really gives Young a chance to check out this defense. He saw Pinkert off about 10 yards that time and picked up the easy completion.
Running right. Got a block. Got a big block from Pittman over there and runs a big play for Texas all the way down to the 35-yard line.
And he ran himself right into the ground trying to get extra yardage, but it's the quarterback draw again. He's so tough when he runs to the right, too. He's a right-handed thrower, so that means he likes to go that side of the field. And right now he just trips on the grass here at the Rose Bowl and goes down.
Big block for him from Billy Pittman. Throwing down the middle. Got it. It's Lima Swede. And that's another Texas first down at the Southern California 20-yard line. The plays are happening so fast. He's getting rid of the ball so quickly, it's impossible to get a rush on him.
Texas tempo right now. Great response by Texas to SC's touchdown, don't you think?
Yes, sir. Run it in the middle. That's Charles again. Looked like he was gone, and then all of a sudden he pops up on the other side.
Talking to Greg Davis, their offensive coordinator, he says he's like a whiff of smoke. He's there, and then all of a sudden he's gone. Makes people miss almost every time.
Trojans staying with that four-man front. Reaches for it. Touchdown. Well, he's got the team on his back, man.
Well, we talked about you can be in position, you can have the right defensive call made, you can do everything right. But if you got him one-on-one, you're probably not going to tackle him. And that's what happened on that play. He comes right to this point here, just overpowers the tackler, stretches out and scores.
And so the Horns go back to the lead. And here's your try for the extra point from David Pino. Pat Northman, the holder. And it's good. Third lead change of the ball game. Texas 23, Southern California 17, with 8:34 to play in the third quarter. And this is for the BCS championship.
You're watching the Rose Bowl game presented by Citi on ABC Sports.
8:34 to go in the third quarter, and Vince Young has put his team back in the lead, 23-17. That Ole Miss technical point's going to lay there on that scoreboard all night long.
Yes, it is. Give hope to the Trojans and make Mac Brown worry.
Greg Johnson to kick it off, left footer. Reggie Bush is waiting for it. He's going to give it to him at the 5. Hole closes at the 25, and they'll take him down at the 26. Texas coverage has been good.
Let's go back to the touchdown. This is the zone read play. Right here is Rucker. This is who the zone read is played off of. Young sees Rucker go down, chasing Charles. He pulls the ball out. Brian Cushing misses there. Josh Pinkert not strong enough or big enough to keep Young out of the corner of the end zone. Carroll talking to Cushing on the sidelines. Carroll's got to come up with answers for all the Trojans.
Well, he's limited at that position. Miner rolls it out. Throws complete to Dominique Bird. And the big old tight end did not go down. He just turned and pounded up the field and picked up a first down. Broke the tackle of Michael Griffin.
This is why these teams are 1 and 2 in the country. There's no quit, and there's extra effort on every play by every player. Watch Bird this time. Gets the big hit there from Michael Griffin and says, I'm not going down till I got that first down. Great play by Dominique Bird.
38-yard line. Glendale White, the deep back. Throws it quickly to Jarrett. Jarrett's hit just as the ball arrives by Aaron Ross.
Now the quickness and speed of these corners is that they're just getting away from the initial block of the other wide receiver. We saw Steve Smith miss a block earlier. Chris McFoy is 82. He's not fast enough to get to Ross, and Ross drills his buddy.
What if SC were to go to the first sound?
Either first sound or go with a pump fake, a hitch and go or something. They've got to stretch this Texas secondary out a little bit.
Second down, 11. Lost a yard on that pass play. Leinert passes away, goes to Steve Smith. And Smith started outside, came back inside, and will pick up, about 6. The show that swept America off its feet is back. 10 new celebrities taking on the toughest challenge of their lives. Jerry Rice, Kenny Mayne, Tatum O'Neal. You gotta go dancing. New steps, new stars, new season. 2-hour season premiere live tomorrow at 8/7 only on ABC.
I wonder if that show may be in this young man's future, since that's the only class he took this term to graduate. Ballroom dancing.
Maybe he had it in mind.
Smart guy.
Completes the pass for another first down. It goes to Fred Davis. First time Fred's seen the ball tonight. Made the catch at the 45-yard line of Texas.
And Leinart obviously is shaking off the effects of that big hit in the first half. He looks real sharp now, getting back in rhythm, setting his back foot and coming through. Read the defense well that time, because that pass to Davis was not his primary target. He wanted to get Bush on that wheel route again, but that was covered.
Horns are all over Reggie.
Leinart's hot, Keith. 9 in a row.
Yep. Behind, though, 23-17. Want to do it again, down the middle, Jarrett. Couldn't get by that last man. A sure tackle by Michael Griffin to take him down at about the 21.
Yeah, they're getting the ball to their playmakers now. Here is Jarrett on Aaron Ross. Double move to the inside. At 6'5", he's got a real deceptive stride. But Leinart just dealing the ball now, reading the defense and that offensive line, controlling that Texas pass rush.
Christmas Boy back in for the Trojans. Horns bouncing him around. And they handle him. Reggie was trying to slide to the right, get to the crack. And Brian Orakpo came right down the line with him and made the tackle. 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. 23-17. Texas is leading. Trojans trying to respond to a very efficient drive put on by Texas. USC came out and started the second half by scoring. Texas scored. Now Trojans trying to respond to that. This is more in line what you would expect between two offensive powers that average better than 50 points per game all season. Leinart throws the ball to Bird, and Bird will get inside the 15. Spins down a yard short of the first down as Michael Huff brought him down. Boy, I tell you, Dan, this defensive secondary Texas has got out there. The track team.
Yeah, check out Bird on the end of the line of scrimmage with the fake block there on Crowder. And then again, great effort. And there's that tackling you talked about, Keith. Huff gives up about 60 pounds to Dominic Bird, but that didn't stop him from bringing him down.
It's third down and a short yard. And Glendale White is the beat back. Leinart kept it. Throws it to Bird. He stepped out of bounds. No, it's Fred Davis. And they'll call it an incomplete forward pass because he was out of bounds when he caught the ball.
Boy, and it looked like Leinart could have just run for it.
Yeah, but I think he's a little skittish after that wallop he took late in the second half.
Nah, he's not skittish, Keith. Come on. He's a tough quarterback. That's a good call. He was out of bounds.
That's watching that big old...
yeah, Robinson 39. Was coming, wasn't he?
Yeah. All 270 pounds of him. Fourth down and 1 with White, the deep back. Big play here, folks. Goes to White, runs up the middle. That'll do it. Touchdown. That's 26 touchdowns of this season for Glendale White, and they now own that combination touchdown record in the NCAA record books. They have 98 now, breaking the old Davis-Blanchard mark.
And that's Mr. Inside, or as the Trojan fans like to call him, Thunder. 3 touchdowns tonight for Thunder.
This is to give SC a 1-point lead. And it's the 4th lead change of the game, the 3rd in this quarter USC now 24 and Texas 23 with 4:07 to play in the third quarter. Oh, we got one building. And the flow and the ebb. Back and forth we go here in this third quarter. 24-23. Defense and mistakes in the first half kept it. Texas exploded. 16 unanswered points. Now we're into that shootout kind of thing.
Yeah, first half was all defense. Second half it's all offense.
And Markham's kick, another good one. Way back. No return. Don't miss the season premiere of Emily's Reasons Why Not. Emily's Reason, I don't know. Starring Heather Graham, a new comedy about love, laughter, and life. Premiering Monday at 9/8 Central, followed by an all-new Jake in Progress, starring John Stamos, only on ABC.
Yeah, I think Vince Young enjoys playing here in the Rose Bowl. And we still have a quarter and change left to go.
Out of the spread. Throws the Hummer. Caught it. I thought his knee was on the ground when he caught it. Lima Swede. And it was on the ground. It's down at the 25, so that's a pickup of 5 yards.
I think you're right, Keith. It looked like the ball comes in low, working against John Walker. Watch the knee go down. Something the replay booth missed earlier in the game when Selvin Young scored a touchdown.
Young running, and he took a pretty good lick that time. That's the hardest hit he's taken tonight. But he still doesn't need to send his britches to the laundry. I keep bringing that up because last year he ran for 4 touchdowns against Michigan, all standing up.
Yeah, he had to work for his touchdown tonight, diving for the corner of the end zone. This is Frosty Rucker getting checked out on the sidelines. May have a sore shoulder.
Kofi replaces him. No pressure. Ball thrown and good. Catch is made by David Thomas.
Huge night for David Thomas. He's been Young's favorite receiver all year long. He slips coming out of the break on this play and has to make a sensational diving catch. And he did.
7 catches, 66 yards tonight. Ball is handed off to Romance Taylor. And he's tattooed at about the line of scrimmage. 35. Gained the yard.
Taylor is a versatile player. He's played a lot of wide receiver for the Longhorns. That time a little bit too much hesitation, trying to look for a crack in the defense that wasn't there.
Young wants to throw, going to take off. Look out! All the way to the 20-yard line before Keith Rivers can bring him down with help from Darnell Bing.
Let's take a look at this from high above the Rose Bowl. 150 yards rushing on the night for Vince Young and just 12 carries. He's come real close to busting this all the way to the end zone.
Oh, it's first down at the 20 for the big guy. Hands it off. This is a loss and a big one. Frosty Rucker back in the ball game among those that took down Romance Taylor.
With that 150 yards rushing, now he has 1,000 even on the season, and that continues a Texas tradition.
They're trailing by a point with 1 minute and 38 seconds to go in the third quarter. The ball is back on the 26, and it's second down and 16. Had a man wide open. Lima Swede got lost. and just sat down at the 15-yard line and was available.
Well, it's a real dilemma for defensive backs in this game for SC. Young kind of mesmerizes everybody. They got to be scared to death that he's going to pull the ball down and take off running. In the meantime, Justin Wyatt slips down, and Lima Swede is wide open at the 15-yard line.
3rd down and 5 now for the Horns. Throws it back across the field. The tackle is made with the reception right about the 14-yard line. Josh Pinkert hitting David Thomas.
That was the best defensive play for SC in quite a while, because both Pinkert and Darnell Bing, 36 and 20 there, were all over that throwback screen to David Thomas. Well anticipated and well executed by Carroll's defense.
And Pino is back in the ball game for a field goal try to give Texas the lead again. 31-yard try. He'll kick it from the 21. You can, as they come out and call time here. And the timeout was called with the clock winding down and about to run out of time in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC station.
With 14:55 left in the national championship, it's USC by 1, 24-23. Joining me now on the field, Libby Evans-Wright, folks. She is the president of the Pasadena Tournament of Roses this year. She is the Danica Patrick this year, I should say. And congratulations. How has it gone so far for you?
Oh, it's been a magical year. I mean, this could not be a better matchup. It's the dream teams of the whole country.
A lot of firsts, especially in the Rose Bowl game as well.
That's right. You know, the Rose Bowl has been in practice since 1902. We were the first televised game in the early 50s. And, you know, here we are with this wonderful experience tonight.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Keith, a lot of great ladies here. Sandra Day O'Connor, our Grand Marshal. Keith.
Thank you, Todd. And the Trojans back to the attack here. Throw that ball quickly outside. They found some success with that play. And Dwayne Jarrett, of course, comes out quickly, and he's a big guy, and if you don't do your work on him, he'll get loose.
Well, and what they did that time, Keith, they didn't have any help out there, so there was not an extra defensive back to come up and tackle Jarrett until he got a number of yards there. So SC making the adjustment on that quick hit to the outside.
It'll be 2nd down and 2 as the play picked up 8 yards. And this is the final quarter, folks. 24-23 after the field goal miss from 31 yards. Little pitch to McCoy, and he's got a little trouble over there. There's 2 Longhorns after him, and they get him. Michael Huff was the first one. Holly Rowe.
Guys, for some reason, the Texas defense continues to struggle with cramps. At least 7 guys have been treated here on the sideline. They've got ice bags running up and down their legs. They've also had IVs at halftime, at least 4 players. Their co-defensive coordinator, Dwayne Akina, said to his defense before they took the field, guys, I know you're tired. I know you're struggling through the cramps, but you have to find a way to get some energy. We can't get into a track meet.
Thank you. 3rd down coming up here. And Pete Carroll coming down the sideline, calling a timeout. I'm wrong, and he saw it and spent the timeout. They've got 1 remaining.
ABC Sports exclusive coverage of the Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. Brought to you by the Citi Simplicity Credit Card. Citi, live richly. The Home Depot. You can do it, we can help. Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Nokia. Your friends, your family, your music, your pictures. It's your life in there. Nokia. And Allstate. Are you in good hands?
Here we go. On 3rd down and long for Southern California. 3rd down and 6. 1-point ball game. Dibble a minute ago. Now let's see if they can come together. Reggie Bush remains quiet. He goes to the top of the screen as a wide receiver. They've emptied the backfield. There are 5 wideouts. Matt Leinart, quick drop, quick pass. Pass is caught by Dwayne Jarrett. So Jarrett becomes the money man for Matt Leinart. And you can call it first down. Southern California at the 36.
Just jumps right inside of Aaron Ross there. Timing absolutely perfect between these two roommates. And the ball thrown low right to the body of Jarrett because Leinart knew that Ross was coming quickly.
Ross is pretty good, isn't he?
They're all good. I don't see a dog out there.
You're right.
And as a quarterback, I was always looking for dogs.
Dumped off to Dominique Byrd. And Byrd, who has stepped up here in the second half, makes another catch. And that'll move the ball up to the 43, close to the 44.
And another great tackle by Michael Huff. He gets right to the shoulder pads, one hands the big man down to the ground. That's why he won the Thorpe Trophy as the best defensive back in the nation.
Second down and 3 coming up for the Trojans, and this is the kind of a down where Matt Leinart might go fishing, looking for something a little deeper. Lindale White is into the backfield.
Please reset the clock to 13:19. 13:19.
Clock running loose again, but we're going to back it up.
The one thing the Trojan offensive line has done tonight is they've shut out an All-American tackle, Roderick Wright. He has 0 tackles on the night. You got to give a lot of credit to big number 71, the Deuce, Taitusi Latui.
Bush and White are both on the field. Bush is outside as a wideout to the top of your picture. And the ball goes to Lindale White, and there's your first down. Oh, he has been like an 18-wheeler running downhill tonight. Here's Todd.
Well, Dan, you said it. Taitusi Latui, no one wants to celebrate more from him. He is a transfer from Snow College, originally from Mesa, Arizona. Following last year's win at the Orange Bowl, he had no chance to celebrate as his wife was in labor in Utah with their first child. He showered, jumped on an alumni charter to L.A. After riding to LAX, he grabbed another flight to Salt Lake City, where he made it to the hospital just after his baby was born. Inoki Liuaki Melatu, which in Tongan means return a champion. He's got another baby on the way, but he told me better timing this year. She's not due till June.
Planned it better, did he? This is Bush bringing him out. They won't let him get around the corner. He's been trying all night, and they've been handling him all night. And we've got a Longhorn that's shaken up over here on the field. That would be number 39, Brian Robinson, a defensive end.
This would be a big loss for the Longhorns. They're already a little bit thin at defensive end. Tim Crowder hurt his knee in practice and has had trouble with cramps in the second half. The backup is Brian Arakpo. He plays both sides. So if Robinson can't play, they're going to have to really dig deep on that bench. The Longhorns have had the answer for Reggie Bush tonight on all these perimeter type of plays, but not the answer for Lindale White pounding in the middle.
He's holding his rib cage like he's tender in that lower rib cage area, maybe even in the hip area.
Number 39 right there takes a shot from Dominique Byrd, and I'm sure that was the injury, perhaps a bruised rib. We can hope that's the extent of it for Brian Robinson.
So it's second down and 8 for the Trojans with the ball across on the Texas side of the field, and here goes White again, and he's pounding now. He's running behind Brandon Hancock, and the Trojan fullbacks are having a big night with the blocking business. Aerial coverage of tonight's game provided by Tostitos. Clock ticking along at 12:05.
And the word on Brian Robinson is that he'll be back. White is right at his season average at 6.6 yards a carry.
3rd and 2. Big guy still in there. He gets it. Lindale White inside the 30-yard line to the 26. Lindale White weighs 235 pounds. That's why I'm calling him a big guy, because he's a load.
And that's the sacrifice you make when you try to get more speed on the field, as Gene Chizik has done with this Texas defense. Power will beat speed. Look at the hole. Latui, Matua, Khalil right up the middle. And Lindale White is on the verge of going over 100 yards rushing.
He's done it.
Yeah, there he goes.
101. Reggie Bush is your deep back. He gets it, goes to the outside with it. Oh, it's around the corner. Touchdown. I'm making sure that that's arms are up.
It took a while to get those arms up. I'm not sure these officials from the Big Ten have ever seen anybody fly through the air like Reggie Bush can. This ball was designed to go right up the middle. It wasn't there, but this was. Stayed in bounds, airborne, touchdown, Reggie Bush.
Wow.
My goodness. You did say wow, didn't you?
Yes, I did. When I introduced him, I saw him in the hall the other day, and I just walked by him and said, wow. He broke out in a big laugh.
I think they're going to take a look at this, but from what we saw in that last look, which was a great look right down the sideline.
I don't see how in the world you could really make a judgment on it. You got to. I don't think we got enough pictures to change it.
Yeah, I think the style points are worth 6 points anyway.
Now watch. He goes over. Ball's inside. He's part of his body is outside, but it's airborne. The ball is inside the pylon.
It's a game of Quidditch to Reggie Bush. Where's his broom? I don't see any broom. He's got the snitch in the end zone. Touchdown for Reggie Bush. You can hold him down just so long, huh?
Yep. They now have, between the two of them, Lindale and Reggie, they have 99 touchdowns combined.
After review, the play stands as ruled on the field. Touchdown.
So now the Trojans, for the first time, build a little bit of cushion here. As mom and dad. Reggie's, oops. Mama's going to fly right out of here.
I bet she can. I know he can. So determined.
Danilo for the point. He hooked it a tad, but he got it in. So it's a 31-23 ball game, an 8-point lead for Southern California with 11:19 to play in the game. Well, the two big men in the limelight, Vince Young for Texas and Reggie Bush for USC, have put their thumbprints on this ball game, however it may end.
Lindale White's got a big old footprint on it, too.
You bet he does. 31-23 as the Trojans kick off, and Larkham pops it up. And they get a bounce. Nope. Horns come up and receive it. That's Henry Melton, that big old tailback, coming up and making the sliding catch.
Well, we all know that Reggie Bush won the Heisman Trophy this year, but is he the greatest of all time? You decide. Maybe that could be the new pose on the Heisman Trophy. Or the one we just saw. How about this one?
That'll work in clip diving. First and 10 for Texas. The ball is at the 31, and Vince Young throws the ball. It comes out. Was it a catch? It came out, and he's ruled a fumble. It'll be Trojan ball.
Thrown to Jamal Charles over the middle. They finally get together and say incomplete pass.
Brian Cushing doing the job for the USC Trojans. Right there, number 10.
Boy, he got the hand on the ball. That was real close to being a reception and fumble.
It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Looked like he had it. The more pressing concern is how much time Young had to throw that ball. Now they're going to take another look.
Well, they got hurt. The officials didn't have a picture to work with because of some equipment problems on that knee thing down there that got the touchdown. And now they spot this well enough to say, let's have another look.
The problem is that when we show the replay, it's in slow motion sometimes. So you really can't tell how much time has passed from the catch and the ball coming loose. That looked like a completion to me.
Close. Ball was right against his chest. He had both hands on it.
Okay, let's check it out in real speed and see what this looks like. Bang, bang, huh? That didn't help any, did it?
I'm not getting paid to make the decision. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sometimes you just look at the reaction of the receiver in plays like that. They know when they have possession. I think Jamal Charles right now is just hoping. Just hoping. That's ruled incomplete. Couple of the all-time greats, Rodney Peete, Marcus Allen, Anthony Munoz, left to right. Ronnie Lott sticking his head in there too.
There are no celebrities on the sidelines unless you count these guys as celebrities, but they are allowed 5 members.
After
4
review,
members.
the play stands as ruled on the field. Incomplete pass.
Probably not enough to overturn it visually, but that won't stop us from taking another look, fueling the fire. Good reaction by Brian Cushing. One freshman on another.
2nd down and 10. Vince Young looking around. Throws to the sideline. Caught. And out of bounds about the 44. Billy Pittman. Billy Pittman's just a sophomore. All you folks in the Big 12. He'll be around to torment you some more.
And Quan Crosby, another wide receiver, is a freshman. Lima Swede, a sophomore. They're going to be very important, especially if Vince Young comes back next year, as he told me he would, and told many other people he would.
Yeah, but they lose Allen, Blaylock, and Scott along the offensive line, and they are good.
Ouch.
Ball completed down the middle, and it is a 1st down at the Southern California 35-yard line. Billy Pittman again making the catch, and he's hurt.
Again, Young with a lot of time to throw, and a wide receiver from Texas running free in the secondary. See where he might have twisted his ankle there in that tackle by Bing and Oscar Lua.
Hobbled off the field in a hurry so they could keep going without a huddle. Pitch it out on the option action. And they get almost a 1st down out of it. It's Selvin Young running right to the marker.
Time for our Dodge defensive playbook. Brian Cushing right here on the edge of the screen is going to have nightmares about this play. It's the zone read, and he's responsible for the quarterback. Well, that quarterback, Vince Young, makes a miss. Then he runs over Josh Pinkard, gets into the end zone for a Texas touchdown. What I like about this drive, Keith, is they're keeping the ball in the hands of number 10, whether he's operating the option or throwing the ball behind this great offensive line.
Trying to answer. They're down by 8 points. Ball is handed off to Selvin Young. And Young will get the 1st down at the 28-21.
Get an idea of the competitiveness of the quarterback, Vince Young. He's going to get out in front here and not throw a block, but at least get in the way of Keith Rivers. That allows Selvin to get the corner, pick up the 1st down.
Big numbers for the infantry tonight. Deep pass to the end zone, overthrown. Lima Swede was running under it, and Josh Pinkard was defending.
Vince upset that Limas took that route to the inside where Josh Pinkard had safety help coming over. Vince wanted it to the outside. That would have been a similar type of play that beat Ohio State earlier this year. Lima Swede catching the jump ball in the corner of the end zone.
2nd down and 10. Young takes off. Trojans handled him pretty well this time. He only got 5. Oscar Lua leading the tacklers.
Well, Texas became the first non-conference opponent in 1990 to beat Ohio State at the Horseshoe on this play. 24-yarder from Young to Swede with under 3 minutes to go. Proved to be the game-winning points as the Longhorns beat the Buckeyes 25-22 in the game of September.
Yeah, but that was a game that showed them they could beat a good football team.
Absolutely.
Third down and 5. Young's got it. He won't get it. Fumbled any further. Did he turn it over? Well, it looked like it rolled loose. Casey Studdard got on it and kept it for Texas. And now they're talking about field goal.
Number 90 is Frosty Rucker. He stripped that ball loose, but look who recovered. Casey Studdard. Heads up play. Boy, what a huge recovery for the Horns. In field goal range, maintaining possession.
It's a chip shot here, 34 yards. But I shouldn't say that. He missed. David Pino missed one a while ago from 31 yards.
Same hash mark too, wide right.
Yep. That's wide. It's inside. Right down the middle, I thought. It seemed to sail off at the end of the travel.
Good hold by Matt Norgren, Keith. Check this out.
31-26 is your score. USC by 5. Tonight's attendance, 93,986. And they're all still here.
I think a few might have snuck in. And recount them. Man, what a crowd.
It's a bunch. Greg Johnson to kick it off. Up too deep. Taken by Bush. Boy, they handled him pretty rough around the 20-yard line. January 22nd, the NBA on ABC returns with outstanding regional action. You'll see either the Nuggets against the Spurs or the Sixers of the Timberwolves Sunday, January 22 at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Right here on ABC, the home of the NBA Finals. Check your local listings for the game in your area.
These last 3 right here have come in the second half as the Trojan offense straightened things out at halftime. Let's see what they do now to respond to that field goal by Texas.
Lindale White is the deep back. Jarrett's down on this side. White has it. Horns jumped on him. About a yard, maybe. Eight minutes and 16 seconds, and the clock is ticking along.
How about young Roy Miller getting some playing time, Keith? Another freshman playing at nose tackle. Number 75, what a moment for him.
Leinert gets it away. Pass is complete to the fullback Kirkman. There's a penalty flag back at the 10-yard line. Is he roughing the passer? Could very well be. Yep.
Yeah, Leinart giving it right back to Texas. Says, bring it on, boys. And add 15 to the end of that reception by David Kurtman. Huge mistake for Texas.
Looked like Killebrew was the man, wasn't it?
Well, that's who Leinart was barking at. Number 40 is Killebrew, and that is a two-step late shot.
Number 40, defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Leinart's all right. And the ball goes way up the field. My goodness, it goes all the way to the 31-yard line in Texas.
Balance. That's what that stat shows you. As SC in the second half has been unstoppable. But when you make mistakes like that, you're just aiding the enemy.
Wendell White's in there. He gets it. Up the middle he goes. This trip. That's about the only thing that stopped him from scoring because there was nobody in front of him. And it's Latouille again opening the door for him.
Latouille is 71 on the pull. Now that's 340 pounds right there. Key block as well by Fred Davis, who's a converted wide receiver playing tight end. There's the deuce.
Ball is at the 23. Second down and 1. Leinart going for it. Jarrett. Touchdown. Two Longhorns hurt on the play. They collided. Dwayne Jarrett, 6'5" and made out of old leather and hamstrings. Even though he's young, he takes a whack in every ball game he plays, but he delivers.
Talk about delivering. That's the first touchdown pass in this game. We've had 7 rushing touchdowns. Matt Leinart in the second half, 14 of 15 for 182, and that dagger there. We can only hope that Brown is okay.
Michael Griffin's the other one, then.
Yeah, they collided as Jarrett went up in the air high to pull this one in. And it was almost a helmet-to-helmet collision on 2 horns. So many times over his career, Leinart has thrown this ball high to either Mike Williams or Dwayne Jarrett. Both of them 6'5". You can see the collision there as Jarrett stretches out, breaks the plane, and scores for SC.
It's 37-26, waiting for the point. Well, Michael Griffin was walking around still dazed from that collision as they tried to defend against Dwayne Jarrett. And this is Terrell Brown, who is coming to the sidelines, and he's needing some help. He took the brunt. I thought the full weight of Jarrett went into Griffin, but apparently not. And here's another look at it. 27 is Griffin, and 5 right there is Terrell Brown.
Yeah, they appear to have put a splint on his right arm. Dangerous game.
Yep.
Especially when you're playing as hard as players on both sides of this field are tonight.
Yep. Mario Danello now has come onto the field, and he will try the extra point to make it a 38-26, a 12-point lead for Southern California at 6:42 to play in the ball game. That was a little high, but the kick is away, and it is good. So a 12-point lead at 6:42. The 34-game win string is still alive and looking pretty good right now. But the heat next is on the SC defense.
USC leads Texas 38-26 with 6:42 to play in the game. Guys, bad news for Texas. The defensive back was just taken to the locker room, Terrell Brown. They immediately immobilized his arm. They're not saying for sure because they want to wait for the x-rays, but guys, it does appear that his arm is broken. He was immediately taken inside, and guys, it really dejected the sideline here. The defensive players are sitting here devastated. Their heads are down. Seems like the air just went out of this sideline when that injury occurred.
Well, to be blunt about it, it did in a sense, and the Brown leaves the game with 10 tackles. So that's a lot. Now let's see what the USC defense can do with Vince Young. They've got a 12-point lead, but that is nowhere near the neighborhood of safe.
Well, he has had success bringing his team from behind, but this is USC. This is the two-time defending national champion with one of the greatest defensive coordinators / head coaches of all time, Pete Carroll.
From the 31-yard line. Quick pop to the sideline. Pass is complete. It's Lima Swede making the catch. That stops your clock. Well, they haven't stopped the clock.
Well, they should. He went out of bounds.
I thought so.
And he went out of bounds trying to go forward. A lot of trouble with the clock tonight, huh?
It's still going. 6:15. And thrown Quan Cosby. He caught it on his knees, but he was open. And Vince Young put it right on his number. 6.
Yeah, the dilemma here is, do you put pressure by adding the blitz to Vince Young and risk him breaking the pocket, making a long run, or do you sit back in zone? Right now, they're just sitting back in zone, hoping to take time off the clock.
I think they've got to go after him from somewhere between here and the goal line. He's just shopping.
Yeah, he's afforded the time to shop and find David Thomas one more time. Thomas getting away from Darnell Bing with a real good wheel route right there. Faked going across the field, came back and picked up another Texas first down. 9 catches tonight for David Thomas.
But just that quickly, the ball is all the way down on the Southern California 37-yard line. Here comes a blitz. But they got him moving around a little bit. The ball's thrown high. It's up for grabs. And goes down incomplete. Ryan Ting had a chance to pick it off, but couldn't come up with it. But they made him move around a little bit that time.
That ball should have been intercepted by Ryan Ting. Goes about 5'10". Went way up high in the air to try to pull it in. Decided to just knock it down instead.
Second down and 10 from the SC 37. When he runs best, he is this direction. And he's close to a first down. Cedric Ellis tripped him.
Such a long stride. He covers so much ground in such a hurry. He gets 8 on that one. It looked like just a stroll around the corner.
3rd and 2. Kevin Thomas checks into the secondary, the extra back. Trojans going after him. Ball is thrown at the first down. David Thomas one more time. That's 10 catches for him. Colin Ashton was there and hit him hard, but he held on.
Having a tight end that's so reliable over the middle just makes a quarterback's life that much easier. And Thomas has done that for Vince Young all year long.
Well, just under 5 minutes to play, a lot of time, and they're down on the SC 23. He's throwing again, throwing quickly, and it goes to Lima Swede.
And now it's a good read by Vince Young, because SC did bring the blitz that time. Had single coverage outside on Lima Swede. Here comes Scott Ware. He's picked up. There's the wide open receiver for about a 6-yard gain.
Kevin Thomas pinned him until help came. 2nd down and 4. He got 6 yards on that little short pass. Young slips a little, coming back. There's daylight. Here he goes. Touchdown.
Tell you, Keith, never seen anybody like him in my life.
No, nor have I.
You know, there have been great scramblers throughout the history of college football, but this guy's at the top of the list. He almost fell down on that play.
He did.
Then regains his composure, runs right, as you said, the direction he loves to run, and goes in standing up again.
Pino for the point. Kick, good. So it's now kind of cozy. Mack Brown talks about the turning around of Vince Young when he started to really move things for Texas.
We quit bothering him and we started supporting him. And after that time, boy, he is 29-2. I mean, what else can you say? And the #1 passing efficiency quarterback in the country, and just won the Davy O'Brien Award. So sometimes the less you do, the better it is.
And you know, Keith, I can't tell you how many times I've had writers and radio talk show guys ask me about his throwing motion and will he be successful at the next level. I think Mack just answered it. He leads the nation in passing efficiency. He's gained 180 yards rushing tonight, 192 yards rushing against Michigan last year, and we're not done.
We've got 4:03 to play in the game. 38-33, a 5-point lead for Southern California, and they get the ball back. Driving kick taken down at the 5-yard line by Reggie Bush, who's been quiet tonight, and just a half a step from blazing a trail to the end zone. Greg Johnson, the kicker, stopped him. Let's spend a moment now with John, Craig, and Aaron.
Keith, thanks a lot. We talked about USC being a second-half team. They've had the ball 4 times in the second half. They've scored 4 times.
Number 21, I had no idea how good he was. Short yardage goal line, Lindell Weissman, the most valuable player in this ball game.
We talked about leadership and depth being the key to this ball game. It's proven to be so. We'll look at the halftime adjustments of each team and see what worked and what didn't.
Don't forget, when the game is over, we will have post-game interviews plus a trophy presentation, and we'll be joined by our friends at ESPN Game Day. Keith, back to you.
Thank you, John. Game's on the line right here as Lindale White is back into the ball game. Hard to go down. Keeps on fighting with him. And looks like the mark's going to go out to about the 37. Well, that's about 3 yards. It's been a battle. Total combined yards tonight, 1,033. That was after the defense was very prominent through an entire quarter. 2nd and 7. Little roll out from Matt. Now throws it. Coming back to the ball. They're going to give him the catch.
8th catch of the second half. When we talked about how it was important for them to get their playmakers involved, well, Dwayne Jarrett is just that. What awareness of where he is on the field, keeping his feet in bounds to haul that one in, and it picks up a huge first down. How about Leinart in the second half? That's why he won the Heisman 2 seasons ago.
1st and 10 now, the ball up on the 47-yard line. Lindale White trying and comes away with 3 on that dive. Tried to get outside. Drew Kelson kept him from getting away, but had he been able to get to the outside, he'd have done some damage.
Now this is SC football right now, putting the ball in the hands of their big tailback, Lindale White, behind this big offensive line. Each time they snap the ball, time goes off that clock.
Texas with all 3 of their times out remaining. Trojans have 2.5 minutes to play. Trojans lead by 5. Liner dumps it off, and it is incomplete. Thrown short. He was throwing to Brandon Hancock, but he had a Texas man right in his face.
Yeah, it was Drew Kelson, number 4, who came on the blitz, and that ball came up just short. More importantly, the clock stops
at 2:22. Third and 7. They run it with Lindale White. Oh, that's ball come out? No. Oh, it didn't. They marked him down at the 45.
Came up short of the first down. Now the decision for Carroll. Do I go for it on 4th? Check out the ball here as White spins. Came loose. He did fumble, and it was recovered by Steve Smith. That's the first fumble of the year for Lindale White. About heads up. Steve Smith, a wide receiver in the middle of all those bodies, finds himself with a football right in his hands.
So Texas now with 2:13 to play in the ball game and down by 5. They spend the timeout to save the time. And Pete Carroll got to make a decision right here on 4th and 2. There have been a lot of great coaches along the way at USC, including this man, Howard Jones, who won 4 national championships. John McKay won 4 national championships, and John Robinson had one in 1978. Pete Carroll, of course, looking for his 3rd tonight. All he's got to do is protect the 5-point lead for 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
Well, the most dramatic play of the season for the Trojan was the Bush push against Notre Dame. 3 seconds left on the clock. Reggie pushes Liner into the end zone on a 1-yard plunge to give the Trojans a 34-31 come from behind win at Notre Dame. 4th and 1 now for the Trojans, and Reggie's on the sidelines. But Lindale White's in there. He's the power back.
He gets it.
He didn't get it.
He gets it, meaning he got the ball.
That official right there is marking the ball, and he's marking it short of the first down. Texas football. Twice tonight, SC's gone for it on 4th and 1, and twice they've come up short. This is right down the line. Great penetration. Kelson in there, Huff in there, down below. Brian Robinson with the play. Talked about gang tackling a long time ago, Keith. Good example of it right there.
It's about 6 inches, maybe a foot.
Half the stadium's going to go crazy.
The burnt orange side did. So now Texas is going to have the football in the middle of the field, basically. And here comes their man, Vince Young, onto the field. And the Trojan defense is beleaguered at this point. The ball will be snapped at the 44 of Texas. Now what do you do, Dan? You go at him? Go for it?
You put the ball in number 10's hands and let him win the game for you, as he's done so many times.
You can't keep laying back there in the zone, can you? Here comes the blitz. Dumped off. Rucker makes the play on Romance Taylor as he accepted the short, trying to set a screen for him, but number 24, Justin Wyatt, was blitzing the quarterback.
Watch Rucker, number 90 here. 3-man rush here. As he goes to the inside, they add the 2 cornerbacks. What an effort by Rucker on the tackle.
Second down and 12. They lost 2 yards. They've got some pressure on Young. He bounces the ball in front of the intended receiver. This time it was Brandon Ting.
Well, you asked what they would do, Keith, on defense. SC, Pete Carroll says, I'm going to go after Vince Young. I'm going to bring all different types of blitzes. The first play, both corners came. That time it was the safety. Brandon Ting with the big pressure.
You got to get in his face. He's too good.
This is the speed that Carroll needed to put on the field. 3 down, 1 linebacker, 7 defensive backs.
Minute and 35 seconds to play. Watch coming again. They pick him up. He throws to the sidelines. The pass is completed, but it is short of the first down. That's Quan Crosby. And what do they say?
A flag comes in, Keith. I think it's going to be a late hit against SC. Texas sideline celebrating.
Wow.
Wow is right. What a huge mistake this is. They get the face mask call. And the question is it 15 or 5?
Well, if it's 5 from where they're standing, it's going to be a first down, isn't it?
During the play, incidental 5-yard face mask to number 20 defense. The 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Yep. Watch Darnell Bing right there with the left hand. That didn't look all that incidental to me. Holy cow.
So the ball goes down to the 46-yard line where it's a first down for Texas on the Southern California side of the field. You've got a minute and 20 seconds to play in a ball game and a 5-point USC lead. Vince Young throws on a slant, ball caught, and that's the ball comes rolling out. No call.
That official there says ball down. That's the call.
Minute now. 1 minute to play.
Bing with the hit. He strips the ball later. Too late. Receiver was down. Carter was down. Clearly.
Texas has 2 times out to play with. USC 1.
But Texas and Mac Brown, they've got to get in the end zone. One missed extra point, 1 missed field goal.
Referee's coming over. Guess they're reviewing it, huh?
I guess so. I'm not sure why. But this is a great benefit. Stops the clock, allows Texas to catch their breath, go over the sidelines for Vince Young so he can talk to Greg Davis in the press box. More time to think about how to move the ball down the field, get it in the end zone. Carter's down there. Now the ball comes loose. This is a waste of time in this review.
Yeah, that's he was well down. Extended body on the ground before they pulled it out.
But again, it was the blitz, wasn't it?
Yep. 57 seconds. 38-33.
After review, the play stands as ruled. It was a catch and down by contact. Second down.
Texas trailed in this ball game 38-26 with 6 minutes and 42 seconds remaining. And now they are getting close to having a big-time chance to win it. Second down and 1. There's been no mistakes on the snap tonight. Working out of the spread. That means Sinline has done a good job.
They're going to put more time on the clock because of that play was originally
104. And they get 7 seconds back. Young going to run with it. Oh, he stepped right through a tackle. My gosh, he just stepped right through the hands of Colin Ashton.
Yeah, he's not picky. He's going to go after any of them. Linebackers, defensive linemen, run over defensive backs, and how about getting out of bounds after picking up the first down?
First down will put the markers on the 30-yard line of Southern California. And 53 seconds remaining.
Saves both those last 2 timeouts.
Trojans have got to make a defensive play or they're going to lose. Thrown short underneath. There's a man just wide open, Ryan Carter. And they're inside the 20 at the 14.
Well, that time Carroll decided to just come with the 3-man rush. No pressure on Young, crossing route against the zone. And again, the clock stops with the receiver going out of bounds. Boy, you've really got a lot of opportunities, a lot of options here, Keith. Remember, David Thomas having a huge night. Lima Swede, big on the jump ball on the outside.
They've got a first down at the 14-yard line. Incomplete. They went jump ball in the corner. Lima Swede against Kevin Thomas. Thomas is 6'1", and Swede stands in at 6'5", and he's a jumper.
Just remarkable to me to see these freshmen playing so well. That's what Kevin Thomas is. Pretty good throw, gives his receiver a chance, but Thomas beat Swede to the ball.
39 seconds. Gonna run it. Gets inside the 10 to the 9, and the clock keeps going. 30 seconds, they've called timeout.
Well, they got to get in the touchdown because of a couple of missed kicks by David Pino. He missed a PAT after the touchdown in the first half. Then in the fourth quarter, the start of the fourth quarter, the first play, misses wide right. That was when SC had a 24-23 lead. Remember, Dusty Magnum last year won this game against Michigan 38-37 when he hit a field goal with time running out.
The timeout belonged to Texas. Each team now with 1 remaining. All-time win streaks, of course, Oklahoma 47, Washington had 39, Yale twice 37, Toledo 35, and Southern California 34 with Miami and Penn State. Oh, that's 10, I guess, way back when. But
nobody wanted to play Yale back then.
No, Bud Heffelfinger in that bunch, they beat you up. Ball is on the 9, where it is 3rd down and 5. They can get a first down if they can get to the 4. But they've only got 30 seconds left. It's up to the Trojan defense now to preserve the streak. Incomplete. That was a good defensive play on Lima Swede.
Again, it was a true freshman, Kevin Thomas, who flashed in front of Swede. May have knocked that ball away, but he certainly distracted him enough that he couldn't haul it in.
4th and 5. I kind of feel like Joe. I'm too old for this. 4th and 5, the national championship on the line right here. He's going for the corner. He's got it. Vince Young scores.
As we said, Keith, you can have the perfect defense called. You can force him out of the pocket, but you're not going to beat him. Invincible.
Well, like Yogi said, it ain't over till it's over, but it certainly looks like the Texas Longhorns are going to walk out of here, and they're walking out on the words of Vince Young, who said they were going to prove they were the best team in the country in this game. And right now, they're standing on it.
And this is a huge two-point conversion to push the lead to 3.
And they'll spin the last timeout. That's it.
That's the Trojans calling timeout.
It's the Trojans calling it. All right.
And that is their last timeout. My goodness. How about this play? Trying to get a receiver open in the end zone. Gets pressure, feels it, sees the corner of the end zone. And how about another walk-in touchdown for Vince Young?
Nobody around him when he went in. So USC up against, they're down by a point. You've got 19 seconds to play. They have no times out remaining. If they convert the 2 points, then it means a 3-point lead.
And Mack is going to tie Vince Young to the goalpost in Austin, so he can't leave this team next year and go on to that other league. How about 7 touchdowns rushing for Vince Young in 2 games here in Pasadena? He might want to look for some real estate around here. He owns this field.
Well, he'll probably have enough to buy it.
At some point he will in his future, my goodness.
Runs it and made it. So it's been the Vince Young show when it came to crunch time, as Texas goes to a 41-38 lead with only 19 seconds to play. Clock didn't move on that play.
That's extra point is probably not going to. Thank goodness for SC. Matt's daddy in the crowd, knowing it's a tall order. But give the Texas offensive line some credit too. Vince Young's thrown 40 passes tonight, 0 sacks. He's rushed for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. What else can you say?
Congratulations. That'll do.
Odds-on favorite to win the MVP of this game for the second time. 2 years in a row, Vince Young putting on an unbelievable show.
These 2 teams coached by 2 men who have brought a whole new perspective and methodology to the business of coaching, I think. Now Reggie Bush will drop back, and let's see if they'll kick to it. I don't believe I would.
No, I'd put it on the ground.
Put it on the ground.
Make it difficult to pick up.
Pitch it down there in that open space. Got it.
Lateral back to Reggie.
No chance. 16 seconds. Clock stops when you move the chain in the college game.
Yeah, but you're going to see the mother of all prevent defenses right here. They'll rush 4 guys, and then the other 7 will be spread out deep.
Here we go. They're coming hard. Leinert shoves it ahead to Bush. Got a block. Goes down and out of bounds, stopping the clock at 8 seconds to play in a ball game.
What that did is that gives Leinert a lot of opportunities here. The problem for SC, Mario Danello does not have a real big leg, but Troy Van Blarcom does. He made a 43-yarder earlier in the game, did Danello, and he's getting loose on the sidelines right now.
The ball is resting at the Texas 43. They have no timeouts to work with. 8 seconds is not very much. Leonard runs away from the pressure. Now he's got to throw it and throws it high and out of bounds, and the game is over. Texas has defeated Southern California 41-38 to win the national championship of college football. This is win number 800 for the University of Texas Longhorns.
And a classic. Lived up to all the hype, all the build-up. Incredible effort by all these young men.
Well, Vince Young, Dan, stepped beyond the pale. He's out there somewhere by himself.
I tell you, Keith, nobody has ever had a game like that.
And all his teammates had faith in him, knew he could do it. This is Vince Young's team.
There are the two coaches. Great respect they have for each other. Pete Carroll has done some remarkable things since he came back to college coaching, and Mike Garrett brought him in as the head coach of the Trojans. He ran off 31 wins, and now Mac Brown sits in the catbird seat, and here is Todd Harris.
Well, Pete, you told me eventually it would have to come to an end. What was the difference tonight?
Well, we couldn't stop them when we had to. You know, we had plenty of chances to, and the quarterback just ran all over the place. He's a fantastic football player, and he made the difference, you know. He threw the ball well enough, but more than that, he did it with his legs, you know. I mean, how classic was it that he ran it in on the last play? So it's a fantastic job by Texas. We gave him everything, you know. We really had a shot to win this game and felt like we should have won it, but we didn't, you know. So this is their night, you know. Hats off to Mac. He did a great job. They have a fine football team. You know, it's been wonderful doing what we've been doing. It's too bad it has to end, but if somebody's got to get it, they deserve the heck out of it. We give it to Matt.
At the very end of the game, you had a timeout. Did you want to save one timeout if they had scored?
Yeah, we had a little problem. They were going for 2 right there. But, you know, didn't get it done.
Thanks, Pete. He's a class act, Keith. Let's send it over to Holly.
Guys, I'm here with Matt Leinart. Matt, tell us a little bit about what went through your mind on that last drive for Vince.
Yeah, he just stepped up. You know, we couldn't tackle, and as a great player, he showed why he's one of the best players in college football.
Tell us a little bit what it's like to go out like this after you came back.
I mean, it's tough, you know, but, you know, we'll move on. It's a great win, great hard-fought, you know, loss, I guess, but, you know, whatever. We still think, I think we're a better football team. You know, they just made the plays in the end.
Win or lose, a great career, Vince. Thanks.
Well, happiness is reflected in many different ways, isn't it? Hands are raised on the Texas side of the Rose Bowl, and the music flows. For 81 years, one of America's most recognizable images has been the Goodyear blimp. Goodyear providing tonight's aerial coverage. And coming up next, the Built Ford Tough postgame show, including interviews and the trophy presentation.